I know, right?
Alright.
That would be Talon's thought. At least if I'm about to die, I'll die quietly.
So, I summed up a little bit to Kyle, so Rocky kind of knows a little bit about what's going on. Did I miss anything in majorly? What's
Well,
the
I don't think
basis?
so.
What's the basis for what happened last week?
What is the basis?
Yeah, so like Cliff's notes, like what happened last week, I guess.
We fought Strahd to rescue Ireena, and then we kind of got away.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't really fight Strahd to rescue Ireena. We went into Strahd's castle to rescue Ireena. And we got in some trouble along the way and met Lilith. And Maltan gambled with Lilith.
You already explained all this stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I wasn't there when he was explaining it. But so anyway, thanks to Lilith, we weren't completely blindsided. And that's when we fought Strahd.
As usual, Duncan was a hero. Alright.
Always.
That sniper feat, though. My goodness. Sniping away all those bats. You were like pinning them to like the walls and everywhere.
Close, man. If I had a better roll, I could have killed all 4 packs in one turn, which is what I was going for.
You actually honestly could have. Like that sniper feat is insanely good. Alright, so here we are. We are up on the mountain. I'll go ahead and give like another description of where y'all are at again. So
Yes, please.
basically you're on like this shelf of rock which this mountain road is clinging to. To your left there is these icy cliffs rising up towards dark rolling clouds. To the right the ground just kind of falls away into like this sea of fog down below. It's like you can't even like see the ground down below. That's how like far down it looks like it goes. And then ahead through the wind and snow, you can kind of see. I think most everybody should be able to see the gates from this distance, even with lack of dark vision. Also because there are. Yeah, there's also like a little glow coming from the gates too that you should be able to see as well. So I can also put up the picture once more.
When you said snow, is there snow on the ground where we're standing, or
There's
there's
snow everywhere. So like it's currently snowing, like kind of almost blizzard conditions right now. The weather itself is like below 0 at the moment, like Fahrenheit below 0.
Not first.
Okay, that actually tells me what Telwyn would be doing in this moment. So if you want me to go ahead and give you that. Apart from shivering.
So yeah, this picture should be up now. This is like what you could see ahead in the distance. That little, what looks like some kind of like fortress along the walkway through the mountains here. So yeah, snow on the ground, snow kind of falling around everywhere. It's a little bit darker because it is like, I think 2 or 3 in the morning right now. And it's like freezing out here. I think like it would be like around like negative like 20 or something.
Okay, so apart from shivering hard, Telwyn starts prepping protection from evil and good just in case, and she's also spinning around in a circle, listening.
Okay.
Hard.
How many?
Listening hard because she wants to try to find running water.
Okay. How many spell slots do you have left?
I have 2 first level and 2 third level. I'm cleaned out a second level.
Okay.
Duncan seems very casual. He seems very calm despite the circumstances, because he's deadly, like he's convinced that they're absolutely safe. So he just kind of wraps himself in his nice warm cloak that he stole off of the ghosts that they frightened, and just kind of smiles at everybody else. He's kind of like half smile, half sneer, like we're safe now.
Brock is going to pull his cloak around himself and look towards the gate, see if he can see anything or anyone.
Wait, so Molly, how do you have third level slots? Because aren't you like 4 and 4? for levels?
You get the spell slots for. What you do is you add your caster slots, like for sorcerer, it's straight 1-to-1. For paladin, it's half your paladin level, and the result is your caster level. And so you get the spell slots for your caster level even if you don't have spells of that level. Because you could still upcast Cure Wounds and use Divine Smite and that sort of thing.
Okay, yeah, that does make more sense. I'm just used to spellcasters of like I'm used to multiclassing of not like different spellcasters. So yeah, it does say that. Okay, I was wrong about that. So yeah, so you have 2 third level and 2 first level left.
Right.
Okay, is that after this new casting of protection from evil and good?
Oh, she isn't casting, she's just readying it.
Okay.
So that the instant she sees Strahd, it goes off.
Okay.
That's the trigger condition. See Strahd, goes off.
From what you can see around here, it's a little bit too cold to find any running water. It's mostly just all snowflakes falling and just solid clumps of snow everywhere.
I know it's a very low chance, but can I make a perception check to see if maybe she hears running water in the distance, if there is any to hear?
You can certainly try. I'll have you make a roll.
Okay. But yeah, that's
With
Tom
a-
is
with
her
a-
teeth chattering is chanting, running water, running water.
With a 12 perception, you're just looking around trying to find any source of water. It's hard to see anything through like the blizzard, so visibility is really bad even for dark vision right now. All you see is just windswept snow going everywhere, no running water that you can see or hear in any of the vicinity.
Yeah, that would have been just uncanny luck if she had heard any. Oh well, I had to try.
What would everybody like to do?
I want to check out and kind of see if I can get a little bit closer to that gate that I'm seeing and see if I can figure out what it is and where we are.
I'm gonna wrap myself in my wings and pull out my my lantern so I can see better.
Okay, so
And
you
maybe
pull
get
out
some
you pull out your lantern and just kind of have like a little better viewpoint of things.
Yeah.
Let me check your sight line here. So that lantern should give you about like how much visibility?
I don't know. It's a hooded lantern, so I
Those are usually pretty
think-
good.
double check. Let me grab the book.
Like I think it either gives you anywhere from like 40 feet to like 60 feet.
I think it's basically torchlight, but like it's hooded, so
Yeah,
I can
but
like
you can
shutter
concentrate it.
and like concentrate it. Yeah. What I remember. Let me double check that. Lantern. Hooded lantern casts bright light in a 30-foot radius and dim light for an additional 30 feet.
Cool. So let me change
And
this one.
once it burns for 6 hours, on a flask, 1 pint of oil, and then I have to fill it up with oil.
Okay, so I changed that up for you on your character. So can you see a little bit better now with that?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, going up a little closer, you can see that the gates themselves look like this dark stone lined with spikes on the very top of it. And there are what looks like 2 statues of vultures with horned heads set on like the left and right side of the gate up on the top. And center in there is this iron portcullis behind which is like a burning green flame, it looks like. And on the other side of the dark wall, you could see like kind of another guard tower a little bit behind it.
Can
Is it to
I
the
make
north
a
or
history
south of
check to
us?
see if I remember it or know anything about it?
To like know where you are at.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Make make a intelligence check, just a straight intelligence check, and then Duncan, what were you saying?
Is it to the north or south of us? Because we're on like a path right now.
Yeah, it looks to be to the north of you.
Okay.
And then, real quick, just maintenance. Because I wasn't here last time, has my stats changed at all as far as luck points, key points, or anything like that? I don't think so, but I figured I'd double check.
Patrick did not spend any of your luck points. I think he did spend 2 key points to do flurry of blows.
Yes, I did spend 2 key points, but no luck points.
Okay. And did you do healing light at all?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
But yeah, looks like as you get a little bit closer, it looks like you hear like this creaking, and the portcullis opens on the gate. Just like this little creaking sound. It slowly slides upwards. You could just see the path ahead. There's still like this glowing green flame in that center there, in between the like where the walkway is, but the iron portcullis is now open.
Where is he? Where is he? Where is he?
He's not coming after us. We're long gone. We're safe here.
But Ireena is not safe. We have to find a way back.
Perhaps these good gentlemen over here might know. I'm gonna. You said it's blizzard conditions, like heavy winds and all that?
Yeah, it's really heavy winds, like
Alright,
buffeting you.
I'm gonna take the staff off of my back and poke the lantern onto it and use it kind of like as a walking, both hands on it, kind of walk with it.
Okay.
To steady myself. And I'm gonna start walking forward.
Okay, so you walk on forward towards the gate. Doing anything in particular? Just like shining light that way?
Yeah, I mentioned that maybe these people might know where we are and how to get back, so. The gate open, so I assume someone's in there, but.
Alright, does anybody follow Mount-Tan?
I will follow
Yeah.
I'll follow.
We have to find a way
Delco.
back as far as Dylan's concerned.
You said
Okay.
the gate's open?
Yeah, the gate is currently open, so standing before you is this green flame currently burning within. So it's just
Right
it just starts like, you can kind of see like, I don't know if you can see kind of like a green glow
Yeah.
right there, but it's kind of like emanating from the ground and kind of flickering up. It's kind of like this weird ethereal green flame. Kind of like, it's kind of like Maleficent's fire, except a little bit more see-through and translucent.
Enough already?
Can Tellen make an Arcana check just to see if the green signifies anything bad?
Yes, you can actually.
Okay.
14 Arcana, you know that this is magical in nature. You're not certain, like, what kind of magic powers it in general, but you can tell that this is not normal flame. It's some sort of, like, magically generated flame itself set in place here. Like, something's powering it, keeping it burning, even in, like,
Yeah.
this windstorm condition.
The light is sorceress in nature. Should I go first in case it is somehow harmful?
I'm sure
Lucky
it's just a
nods.
protective. Hello? I'm gonna enter. Hello?
Okay, as you
And I'm
step.
gonna like bang on like the side of the wall with my staff and like come in.
Okay, so you bang on the wall, yelling hello. Are you walking in through the gate into the fire
Yes.
itself? Okay.
Well, just to this, yeah, where I am right now.
Okay. As you step in through there, your foot kind of enters into the fire space, and you feel like this little burning sensation as you materialize a little bit more into it, or not materialize, you kind of like try and wade through it a little bit more, and you can feel like it's almost like this cold fire at first, and then it just burns searing white hot. I need you to make a dex save as you go in here.
Would this trigger evasion?
Yeah, you could use evasion on this.
Cool. So if I succeed, I
That's
take nothing.
yes.
Cool.
While he's doing that, is there shadows on the other side of this?
I mean, it's all nighttime, so yeah, there would be shadows.
I would like to bam to the other side.
Yeah, you can do that. So I could just
I do that.
bam forward to the other side. With a 13, that's not a success, but with evasion, you'll take half damage still,
Yes.
Mountain. So you kind of like quickly. Do you want to like just like barrel forward through it?
I guess if it starts hurting, yeah, I was just gonna stand here, but I didn't realize that there was fire right here. I thought it was just in that line over there.
No,
Yeah.
it's like all within this like.
Yeah. Then if it starts
Area
hurting,
goes-
then I'll just barrel through.
Okay, so you'll take half damage from this.
Cool.
1 second. So
Jesus.
you feel this fire like licking up at you. You're going to take this is
13.
yeah, you'll so have well you would normally take the full damage. With evasion you're going to take half, so that's 20
Oh, 23. That's
23.
Right. I don't know why.
If you
Oh,
had
perfect.
succeeded you would have taken none. But
yeah,
so you take a total of 23. This is like it's considered fire damage, but it's like this is actually like worse than fire damage. It like bypasses any kind of resistances.
Magical
But
fire.
yeah. But yeah, you take a total of 23 fire as this kind of like burns through your.
Yeah, I kind of step in there banging on the wall, and then I just start to like hop around, and I jump through the fire, and I kind of stick my feet in the snow. Oh. Careful,
Most
it's hot.
definitely.
Yeah, it
Most
doesn't.
definitely not be following you there.
It
Yeah,
doesn't
my
seem to catch you on fire in any way. It just seems to like burn like inward within you.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn back and go. Careful, it's hot.
Rocky's going to look towards Mautan and make the sound of sizzling bacon.
Very good.
And I would actually like to cast healing light on myself because I'm about to die.
Yeah, yeah. You did drop unconscious during the fight.
Whoa! That is just not okay, friends. So it's a
Osmond
D6.
saved you. Don't worry.
Osmond did save you.
4.
4 healing back.
Wow.
You cast this
Okay.
healing light over yourself, and you feel a little bit of rejuvenation. Not a whole lot, but there's some.
Duncan's gonna take a step back and he's gonna look at the wall. Like how does it look in terms of being climbable?
It looks like there could be like some handholds you could use to get over the top, like scramble over the top.
How tall is it roughly?
The tower itself, let me take a look at it. It's about the gatehouse itself is 30 feet high. The walls look like they're only about 20 feet.
I'm gonna drink a greater healing potion.
Okay.
I didn't recommend we go charging through that light, Elvin. We should probably seek an easier way over. I guess easier is relative.
That's
Yeah,
44
I
plus
quite
4,
agree
right?
with you.
Yeah, 44 plus 4 is the greater healing potion.
Duncan will call to the guys through that have made it through. Is there any way for you to get up on the ramparts and maybe drop us a rope?
Rocky will look and see if he can do that.
There doesn't look like there's any stairs connecting up to the top here, but there is a little guardhouse, what looks like behind you guys, like over to a little bit further northeast.
I would like to peek into. Is there a window on the guardhouse?
Not that you could see from right here.
Can I see?
There is a
shadow
door. There is a
underneath
door,
the
like-
eaves?
Like, if you go under the door? Or-
Because I'm assuming I'm looking up. Am I looking up?
Yeah, so like up at the gatehouse or like in this little guardhouse?
Anything that I can see that's on top of the wall that I could throw something over. Because if I can see a shadow, I can bend into it and then like hold on so I don't fall or something like that, and then try triangular staff down.
It's about 30 feet up to the top of the gatehouse, so like you can't really see it from down here. You do see that there are 2 statues, one on like the left and right, on the very top, like on either side of like the gate. But you can't specifically see the top of it, like where shadows are.
Can I? Is there shadow underneath wings of these statues?
You can possibly assume, maybe.
I would like to try to bamf into him.
Okay, I'm gonna make a check to see if like you can, if there's like enough of a source to get there, since you can't actually see it.
No, you know what you should do? You should let him bamf, but make him take like an acrobatics check or fall.
That seems a little bit more fair actually. So Rocky, you
Oh my god.
bamf up there. I'm gonna have you make an acrobatics check to kind of be in the right position as you try and gauge where it's at.
I have a +6 to acrobatic. I love the little delays between like when you click it and when it posts. Did you just have like a minor heart attack?
That's my favorite.
23.
Yeah, 23 is good. So 23, you see Rocky dematerialize and then reappear right up at the top, kind of Nightcrawler style, just at the top of this gate here. I can actually put you up there. As you kind of like steady yourself, you see yourself like under the wings of this giant statue. The statue itself looks like it's about 6 feet tall. The wings just kind of like spreading out, kind of covering you a little bit from the snowfall as you're up here.
How do I feel about the statue? Does it kind of freak me out, or does it feel like okay?
It's a little bit freaky. It looks like it's just like this disgusting demonic face leering out. And it looks like before, like when you were down below, like on the other side of the gate, you could swear it was like looking down at the ground. Now it almost looks like it's just looking right at you, Rocky.
Does it have any hands, or is it just wings and feet?
No, it has hands. They're kind of like these clawed, long finger hands.
I would like to take out my finest stick and put it in the hand. And kind of like tap the hand, just as an offering of "Don't kill me, we're friends."
Okay. You put the stick up to the hand. Oh, hold on.
I'm gonna cry in just a second. I know I'm gonna cry because it's gonna come to life and it's gonna kill me.
As you put the stick in the hand, the fingers just like slowly start to. You hear like a little cracking sound, and you see the fingers start to curl up around it. You could see now the stone, what looked like stone, is now like kind of brushing away, and you can see like this black sheen to the fingers as they start to curl around the stick. You could see now the face is looking directly at you, and the eyes seem to be kind of glistening now.
Okay, now I have a weird question.
Uh-huh.
Does it seem like my stick has made it less angry at me?
Make an insight on statue. Yeah, make an insight on statue.
I have a natural 12.
Holy cow!
It looks like for now you are good. You could see now, like you're looking directly into his eyes. You could see there's some kind of life force within this statue, and for right now, whatever you have done has, for the moment, appeased it.
I will make a flourishing bow, and then wrap my arms around myself and shiver a little bit, and cock my head to the side and caw gently, trying to like explain that we're cold. Is it okay to be here? I can roll performance if you want.
Sure.
14.
So you make the caw gestures. Do you say anything in particular with this?
I don't think I have words for this, but I try to make my gestures very open and understandable.
Okay. From what you can tell, it's not really making any other kind of response. It seems like maybe giving it something seems to have been kind of good, from what you could tell. Not sure if it's gonna like come to life any further, but seems okay for now.
Okay. I'm going to slowly move towards the wall and just kind of keep an eye on it, and then turn my traveler staff into rope and pass it down, and just kind of watch the statue, not like in a scared way, but more of like in a curious way, and try to keep my demeanor as if I'm asking permission rather than just doing things.
Okay, so you just constantly like trying to like keep yourself humble before the statue, trying to like not set it off in any way. You transform your staff into its rope form and lower it down to Telwyn and Duncan down below. So Telwyn, Duncan, you see Rocky just like looking at the statue, just kind of like making gestures and like small caws to it as he lowers his rope down to you.
Has he gone batty? What's wrong with him?
I have insight check to figure out what's going on with Rocky.
Yeah, go for it.
Also, can you move us over to where this rope is being let down?
Yeah,
Like on.
it's like right over here.
Okay.
So, what's over here?
So
This-
over here, this looks like it's some kind of guardhouse, Mautan. This guardhouse is taller than the gate itself. Let me see if I have the height for the guardhouse. The guardhouse itself is about 40 feet high, 40 feet tall. And you can see it's just stone walls, kind of like hugging the cliff face itself. There is a door, kind of like a wooden door, simple wooden door, leading into it that's currently closed. And then up ahead to the north is just more path going through the mountains. Telwyn with a 12 insight. It's seems like Rocky's like doing like strange Rocky things. Not entirely certain like why he's making like chirps to the statue, but like maybe it's because it has wings or something and it's a bird like.
Right. I am honestly not certain, Duncan. Maybe he's just, appreciating the bird nature of the statue.
That does sound like something he would do. Come on, let's get up this wall. Do me a favor. He kind of like gives you an almost skeptical glance. Give me a boost.
Sure.
Wonderful.
Do I need to make an athletics check or just boost him?
So giving a boost, I could say that could probably give you advantage on your athletics check to climb up the rope.
That's what I was hoping for.
I'm going to
Mount.
approach this guard tower.
Okay.
Maybe they're in here. I'm gonna knock on the door with my staff. There we go.
Yeah. So you make a knocking sound with the staff on the door. No sound that you can hear, like in response. No kind of response of any kind that you can hear.
Hello? I'm gonna knock again. A little bit louder.
Still no sound that you can hear.
I'll check the knob or handle or whatever is that.
Okay, you fiddle with the
Unlock.
handle and it looks like it's unlocked.
I'll squeak the door open. And I'll poke my head in.
Okay, so you poke your head in, kind of see like the bare room
Hello?
inside. It looks like inside here, you could see there's a cold hearth that's not lit inside, just on the east side there. The wind is kind of howling down its chimney rather loudly. You can see also there's a stone staircase on the south wall leading upwards. And from inside now you can see that there are 3 windows in here, kind of looking out throughout the east side, kind of looking out where like the cliff face drops. And back to you guys, 18 is going to be enough to go ahead and climb up to the top. You manage to scramble your way up without much of a problem. Like you kind of like fight through the cold, just like biting it into your fingers, but you get up to the top and you can see Rocky still like trying to placate this statue as he's just like making these little chirping noises to it.
Well,
As
we
they
don't
come to
know
the
he's
top,
trying to placate it. We just think he's enjoying the birdness of it all.
As they come to the top, I will look at Duncan and gesture towards the statue, and then make another bow, and then kind of chirp and twist my head a little bit, and kind of try to introduce Duncan the best way I can.
What the devil are you doing?
Athletics check for Telwyn to climb up.
Does the statue move at all so that Duncan can see that it's like a legit creature?
It doesn't seem to be moving at all from what you can see right now. 19's going to be fine as you make your way up as well, Telwyn. You scramble up and get to the top, and you can see Rocky like kind of like bowing and gesturing to the statue to Duncan.
New insight check?
I mean, you basically already incited like what he's doing here. I mean, you could like just talk to him or anything like that, and just kind of see where it goes from there.
Rocky, I realize that you enjoy all things bird, but it's very cold. We need to get out of the wind.
Rocky will twist his head and say, Rocky, need bird. And then gesture towards the bird, and say, it's very cold. Need to get out of the wind. And the last bit will be towards the statue.
Also, Pat, can you move us up onto the wall?
Yes.
Thank you.
I don't know what you mean by needing the bird, but we could sort that out later.
Let's get down off this thing.
All right.
Does
And
the
I'll.
bird seem to be bring them in any way?
No. It still looks like it's looking at you, Rocky. But other than that, no movement that you could see from it.
I will look towards Duncan and Enid and say, more than meets the eye, in Duncan's voice. And then in Enriette's voice, I will turn back to the statue and then bow and say, wise and generous. Then I will say, give their loved ones rest.
As you say wise and generous to the statue, actually, you can hear like this kind of like clacking noise coming from the mouth of the statue, and everybody up here now can actually hear that.
Okay, alright. We should probably get down now.
Can I
don't think
insight?
it likes us.
Can I insight again to see if it's good or bad?
Sure, with that, like anybody who wants to make an insight check onto this statue can.
23.
23 insight, you can kind of like say like right now, it seems like you have placated it. It seems like it's allowing you forward for the moment. Like if you hadn't placated it, it might have not gone so well from what you can glean.
Rocky will give an appreciative bow and then pull his staff up and then put it over the other side for everybody to get down.
Okay, and I'm gonna say, since you guys made your checks already, like we could just still like say like, yeah, it's fine. You guys climb down, so I'll move you guys over.
As Tellen goes past the statue, she emulates Rocky and bows to it.
I would just like to point out that the one character that can't talk just charismaed out of an encounter.
Noted.
I'm just proud of that.
So
Just a mindless stone demon.
I'm gonna look further here.
okay,
Is there anyone inside?
so you see
Hello?
Mountan step through into that guardhouse. It doesn't look like anybody's down here. It seems like there's like dust and cobwebs down here, a little bit of snow like on the floor that is like swept in by the wind. But you can't see anybody in here.
Does it look like it's been like abandoned or empty for long?
Yeah, it looks like it's been like abandoned for quite some time now. Like it looks like this might have been like a place where people would gather around the fire to like keep warm on like cold nights watches. But it doesn't look like this place has been used in years, like probably hundreds of years.
Stick my head out with the lantern. Oh, over here.
Before going over there, I want to look back at the statues and see if they're doing anything.
As you look back at the statues, you see they are actually turned around now and facing this way rather than the other way that they were before. And they look like they're keeping an eye on you and the rest of your party.
I will gesture towards the house and I can kind of cock my head saying, is this okay? And see if they give any negative response to that.
No other kind of reaction that you can see from them. They just kind of seem to be looking down at you right now.
Sweet. Okay. I will go inside.
Okay. So yeah, inside you just see like this cold, empty room. The hearth itself is not
I'm
lit.
gonna light
There's like
this fire.
yeah, I'm gonna have you make a survival check to light it. The logs are currently kind of wet and soggy, rather old and damp. But
Can
yeah,
I sprinkle some oil on it?
yeah. Actually, I'm gonna say if you sprinkle oil on it, that pretty much is enough to just get it.
No, I
If
could
you have
use
like
one of
if you
my
have a light
oil.
source, yeah, if you have any light source like fire, like yeah, you could definitely light that up.
Yeah, I'll use one of my oil flasks. Light it.
Okay. So you light up the flask, or sorry, you light up the oil onto the wood, and the fire starts burning within the hearth, making this kind of warm, glowing light emanate from it. And it's like a nice reprieve from like the outside temperatures.
Turn off my lantern and huddle up with the fire.
Okay. What does everybody else want to do?
I want to warm up and then take a look outside and see if I can see anything and or anywhere to go
Okay.
past this place.
Okay. So you want to go inside that guard tower?
Yeah, I was going in the guard tower that he was in. Now that I have mission. Now there's stairs on the side. Does that lead to an upper level?
It looks like yeah, there's stairs leading up to another upper layer in here.
I'd like to go up and see if I can see anything. Like if I want to get a lay of the area that we're in.
Okay.
From a higher vantage point.
So I moved you up. You should find yourself a little bit higher up now on the screen.
I will join Mautan by the fire.
Okay, so Duncan and Mountain just sit kind of huddled up in the fire inside the guardhouse, while Rocky wakes me upstairs. So you can see another area up here. You can kind of see like up here. You find another room kind of similar to the one downstairs. There's like some old broken chairs in here as well. Kind of like old rusty weapons kind of lying scattered around too, like some pikes and bows lying around here and broken arrows. You could see like a connection where the chimney goes up further, and there's also a stair leading up.
Yeah, I'll take the stair that leads up.
Okay, so there's like this little trap door that you'll have to unlatch, but you manage to climb up and make your way to another further level up. And find yourself up here at the top. So up here you could see there are these how many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are 8 10-foot tall, what looks like gold-plated statues standing atop the battlements, facing outward, each one depicting a female human knight holding a lance. The cold winds kind of stirring the snow, under which you can see, now that you notice, there's like the snow on the ground of the floor here. As it kind of lifts up, you can see skeletons kind of embedded and buried under the snow, kind of like they froze to death up here.
Search him.
I'm not getting anywhere near that crap. I'm gonna look out, see if I can see anything, and keep an eye. Do I get a sense from the statues that they could be the same situation as the previous one?
Yeah, I'll have you roll another insight on these guys.
12.
They're a little bit different. Hard to tell, especially since they're like statues. It's just not sure if they might come to life as well or not. They are all female human warriors, each like kind of like striking a pose, kind of like guarding, like they're guarding the place.
I will make another gesture of supplication to them, and then point over the edge and just point to my eyes and just look around and see if I can see anything.
So
I will not touch anything else that's up here.
yeah, you could see the path kind of hugging the mountain a little bit more, and then as it goes a little bit more northwards, you could see this stone bridge. You see like the pathway leads to like this huge ravine, and the bridge spanning over the ravine, leading further on into the mountain pass. As it spans over the ravine, you can see the path start again, continuing to hug against the side of the mountaintop.
With that, do I get like a sense of where we are? Like,
Yeah,
no.
yeah, with this, like, the place that you mostly know to have, like, snow pathways and, like, guardments and things like that is, like, the pathway towards the Amber Temple.
Okay.
So like
Um,
if you're looking at the map like here, you'd be somewhere around like that area in the mountaintops where like you're spanning like the little gorge. Like I don't know if I can't really point that out on the map here, but like if you
That
see the
little
Amber
bridge
Temple on the
area,
map,
right?
right to the left of the Amber Temple, like there's like this waterway that goes through
mhm.
to the very left of the Amber Temple. It's like spanning like that, like the water goes underneath probably, and then like it spans underneath that. So it's not quite at that like where the bridge marker is on the map. It's a little bit more to the other side.
Okay, so here's my next question. The side of the gate that we're on, are we on the Amber Temple side or the world side?
So the way this map is like spun around and everything right now, you guys, it looks like this way would lead towards the Amber Temple.
Okay. That's good to know. I will go downstairs and give another gesture of appreciation to the statues. Go downstairs. I'm not going to touch any of that crap that's on the ceiling or the second floor. And then go up to Duncan.
Oh.
And then tap his shoulder.
Okay, I moved you back down.
And
again.
then
While you were doing that, I wanted to talk to Duncan.
Okay. Yeah.
go for it.
So before Rocky even gets down here, while he's exploring up there, Duncan just sidled up next to me. Let it linger silence a couple seconds, and then turned to him. Quite a day, don't you think?
Yes, but all in all, I think it was a success.
You think?
Well, I mean, we're alive, aren't we?
I suppose. So, yes. You doing all right?
Do you guys say anything else or before Rocky
I
makes his way down?
I asked if he was doing okay.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Oh, sorry. You doing all right?
I mean, as good as I can. It was a close call in there, but to be honest, I feel stronger, having come through it.
Do you?
When we faced Strahd before, we were always on our back feet. We were on the run, and things seemed hopeless. If it wasn't for the intervention of our good friend, I understand this is a story you don't know, but we only narrowly made it out. But this time I feel like we were a match for him.
Yes, I think if we work together, we might stand a chance.
I'm gonna like kind of just fidget and pick up like a little bit of wood and toss it into the flame and be like, no, admittedly, I'm not the bravest person. But I think I've come a long way since I arrived.
The fact that you can admit that shows strength.
Don't tell the others.
It'll be our secret.
And as you say, it'll be our secret. You see Rocky kind of make his way back down the stairs, down to your level.
Rocky will go up to Duncan and kind of, is there like dust on the ground?
Yeah, there's some dust. There's a bit of snow that's been blown in from the outside, but for the most part, there's not too much snow on the ground. There's a little bit of dust, but
Rocky will, in the dust, kind of draw a basic map and point to where he thinks we are.
I figured as much. There's only one place that's in the mountains.
Rocky nods and then points into the Amber Temple and cocks his head to the side, asking if we should continue into it.
I think this is something that we should decide as a group. I don't know where Tilwyn has gone.
Molly, if you're back now, everybody went inside the guardhouse. Do you want to go inside with them as well?
Yeah, I had typed in I was back, but you guys were busy. So.
Okay. Yeah. If you want to go into the guardhouse, everybody's gone in there right now.
Where would Telwyn be as soon as she's out of the wind?
So the guardhouse is right to the east, right here. I'll ping it right there. That's where they all went to.
Oh, I didn't see the ping.
Yeah, it should be like this little stone structure right here. Yeah, that they've all gone inside.
Okay. Well, as soon as she got out of the wind, I was going to have Telwyn. She takes out both of her holy symbols. And she puts one holy symbol on either side of her sword. And she prays, I failed. Goddesses, I failed. And I wish to atone. If you would give me one more chance to save the girl from that monster, I swear to you I will die achieving the goal you have set for me, if that is what it takes. I will die 1,000 times to achieve the goal you have given me, if that is what it takes. But please help me to save the girl.
As you say the prayer, no discernible light from either of the from the holy symbols make their way forward, but you feel a little bit more resolve and strength to carry on.
Do I hear that prayer?
Yes. What would everybody like to do? So Mountain has lit up a fire in here, so there is kind of warmth coming in here. You guys are currently safely out of the cold and getting a little bit of your strength back in you as like the cold kind of seeps away a little bit. It's still cold out, but like you're a lot safer in here right now from the elements.
I don't want to say that we take a rest just yet because we have to decide what we're doing, but
Before we do anything, we should definitely take a rest.
yeah, but if time is a factor in whatever we decide to do, then we don't want to be lingering for longer than we need to, right?
Yeah, so
But
you guys could take the time
wholeheartedly.
you guys could take the time right now to like decide like do you want like a plan of like do you want to go forward to the Amber Temple? Do you want to like head back? Whichever one you want to do.
So Duncan will fill in Telwyn on what Rocky showed him, which is the map of the area, and he'll explain to him that he thinks that we're on the approach to the Amber Temple.
Indeed. I wish I knew whether we would do better to press on to the temple or find some way to get back to Velaki, and I pray to Ireena.
Duncan will take a look around at everybody. All of you know that whatever road we take, all of it will lead us back to Strahd eventually. It's just a matter of being prepared when we get there. And for those of you that were there when we got our Terracoa reading, or whatever it's called.
Taroka.
When we got he deliberately mispronounces it. Terracoa reading. That there was a weapon that could be used against Strahd at the Amber Temple. There is something there. And indeed, Strahd himself did bear out to me how important that the forces there were. That was what he said, right? In the dream, he told me about the Amber Temple, was it? Or was it Argenvoss told?
He talked to you about the Amber Temple.
Okay, good. And what is our gravest concern right now? In terms of Ireena?
Well, if this map is accurate, we are a long way from the castle. If we were to head over there, I fear that by the time we got there, if God were to find her, he would have found her by then.
We can safely assume that he's not coming after us just yet. Otherwise, we would have already seen him.
What we
believe that,
cannot
so.
assume is that the only way back is by walking. There may be a way to teleport from here back to the castle.
It just does not matter. Strahd is very strategic man, I've gathered from that encounter with him. We've already
Yes,
been here. We've already been here a good amount of time. If he were to have found her, he would have found her by now.
We haven't searched.
If Duncan is correct and there's a weapon at this temple that would help us combat Strahd, and we're already here, there's no sense why we shouldn't already go after it.
There is a reason to hesitate to do that. Two reasons, actually. One, Ireena has only one protector now. And two, a bard would be very useful in a situation like this.
Is there any way that we can know that he's retrieved her yet? Is there any way that we can be certain that he has not found her? Is there any way that we can buy her time?
The only way I know to know whether he has found her is the way that we knew she was in trouble. And Telwyn looks at Rocky.
Rocky gives a nod, and kind of lowers his head in a somber expression, and then looks towards Duncan.
There's potential in that. But what if your goddess doesn't answer with a dream?
Rocky gives like the faintest snarl, and then gives almost a cocky, kinky smile, trying to express that like his god's got it.
I agree with Duncan. Can't trust a god to just always tell us which way to go. Sometimes the best things to do is trust your instincts.
Now, bear with me as I detail my idea. My plan, as it were. And Duggan will look at Telwyn. Before, when we were at the church in Balaki, when you summoned Strahd, what did you do?
I was in a rage. I wanted to avenge the thing that he had just slain in front of us. I wanted to avenge Ireena. I issued him a challenge.
And Duggan will, again, give a very kind of speculative look to everybody. Is it possible that we could buy Ireena more time? Ireena and Osmond more time to escape. If we call him here to us. If we issue a challenge.
I fear that Strahd has more resources than just himself. He has
There is
minions,
but one way to find out.
underlings, people who can do his bidding for him while he goes off and faces challenges or amuses himself.
And if he sends one of his lieutenants, and we defeat the lieutenant, still we have weakened Strahd.
True.
There is something that maybe I didn't perhaps elaborate on.
Then tell us, because we need to consider all angles before we make a plan.
I told you of my dream where I saw Strahd. And he and I cut an impromptu deal.
What?
Listen, I was in a weakened state. I wasn't in my right mind. I didn't quite understand. But he and I have terms, all right? And he assured me that if we investigate whatever's inside the Amber Temple, the evil that is there, the evil that is there binding him in this land, that we would be free to leave this place. Now, if we were to do that, and if we were to end his curse by that means, then he would not need Ireena, or he would not need us.
Duncan, how much do you know of vampires?
I know enough.
I would just like to point out that Rocky's kind of like grumbling to himself at this point. He's still salty about the god thing.
Listen, all I'm saying is that we can challenge him, and we can tell him to give us time while we search out this evil. While we investigate the Amber Temple, we ask him to hold off. He assured me that whatever's keeping him bound to this land, whatever's keeping him bound to this curse, is located here. And it seems as though he cannot take it on himself. He said that it is an even greater evil than himself. Now, I don't fully understand your mandate, Tillman, but if I'm not mistaken, you're here to destroy all evil.
I am here with one mandate, and that is to destroy Strahd.
But what if there's a greater evil behind him?
Then that may be one of the further goals that I have to complete after this one. I do not know everything that I am called to do before I can return to my rest. What I know is that I have to destroy Strahd, and I will destroy any evil that gets in the way of that as well. If that's Lilith, if that's any of his other lieutenants, I will destroy them without hesitation or regret.
Listen, all I'm saying is that, Strahd is not an unreasonable man. He's not some...
Duncan, he is a vampire.
And
Do you fully understand what that means? Let me tell you what it means, just in case you do not. Suppose that Strahd came after me, and he got me, and he forced me into the Vampire Pact, where I become a vampire myself. And yes, he could do that. I wouldn't have to agree to it. It is possible to force it upon someone. Do you believe, Duncan, that I desire above all things to do good?
I mean, I suppose good is relative.
Do you believe that I desire to serve my goddess and the Raven Queen, without whom I would not have been brought back?
Listen, I don't know your gods. I don't know their motives.
You know me, at least a little. That's what I'm asking you. Do you believe that when I say I desire to do good, and I desire to achieve goals that have been given me by the goddesses, do you believe that I tell you truth?
Most certainly, yes, but your truth could still be misguided.
If I
it
were
comes from a
forced
goddess, not
into,
from you.
if I were forced into being a vampire, I would completely change.
Listen to me. That's not the situation we're dealing with right now.
You are dealing with that situation. Suppose Strahd tells the truth when he says that once upon a time he was a good person. It does not matter what he used to be. It matters what he is now. And what he is now is a fiend from the very depths of hell.
Does it not matter what he could become?
He cannot be redeemed. There is no goodness in him.
And who are you to
He is a
decide that?
monster.
Say again. Who are you to decide that?
I have been trained for this.
Listen to me. I'm not saying that whatever he wants us to do here is not a trick. We know from the Terracochra reading that there's something there that can destroy him, that can help us to fight him. I mean,
And I
that
trust
alone should be
that,
enough
but I do
motivation.
not trust Strahd. Mark my words, no matter what he said, if we find a thing that can destroy him, his goal is not for us to keep it. His goal will be to get it and destroy it, or at least put it where no one can use it against him.
Listen to me, regardless of what we choose to do, regardless of whether he wants us to go to this place or not, regardless of whether it's a trick or whatever it is, at least it's buying us time. We cut a deal with him. We say, don't hurt Ireena until we're done investigating this. Obviously, he has some motive for us to go there.
Duncan, do not make deals with the devil.
We're not.
The devil always wins.
Listen,
We're
listen,
making a deal
listen to
with
me.
Strahd, not the devil.
It won't be your deal to make. It will be mine. I've already entered an agreement with him. You
Then
would merely
what
be tagging
incentive
along.
does he have to enter another? He has you already.
He doesn't have me for anything. He has not made true on his promises, and nor have I. All I'm saying is that I can accept more burden. I'm ready to do that. This wouldn't involve you. It would involve me.
It does involve me. You and I, we have a bond now. Do you think I can let you sell your soul? I
If
cannot
he does
prevent
with his
you,
soul,
but I can
it's
try
his
to
own.
dissuade you.
That's not it. I want to take your advice. I want to. But I see this as
Then
our own
please,
action.
for your own sake, take my advice.
Then what do
I'm not
you
saying
propose?
that we don't go to the Ember Temple. I think that may be our best bet. Because if there is a thing there that can destroy Strahd, mark my words, he will have to postpone dealing with Ireena to keep an eye on us, lest we use the thing against him. But I am telling you, it will be a trap. Count on that. It will be a trap. He will not have sent us there without intent of it being our doom. And whatever bargain you struck with him, Duncan, I wish that I had been present to hear it, because I can tell you, he has you. Unless and until we find a way to break it, he has you. You have made a pact with hell.
Listen to me. And I know I keep saying that, because I just don't think it's getting through to you. I've already made this deal. It's already been cut. I told him that I would investigate the Amber Temple. And his response, his counter-proposal was that, well, my counter-proposal was that he wouldn't lay a hand on us in this land. It was for our own protection.
What were your exact words?
I can't remember.
That's very important, Duncan, because your exact words are the terms by which you both must abide.
And what I'm suggesting is that we summon him, and we make new terms. I make new terms.
Oh, Duncan, I fear that this is going to be a terrible burden on you. I think that you are literally playing with hell.
Now we can go forth, and we can go to the Amber Temple like you suggest. But in the long run, that won't help Ireena. We know that he's going after her. We know that it's only a matter of time. Her and
I
Osmond...
truly believe that he will have to let Ireena go for now if his lieutenants, and I'm sure there's always one watching us, if one of his lieutenants reports back that we are at the Ember Temple, I think he's going to have to keep watch on us.
No, there's no possible way. There's no possible way that that's a scenario. He's gone after her, otherwise he would be here chasing after us. You saw him when we went through that teleporter, how mad he was. He's going after her. We don't even know if he already has her.
Then
What I'm
the
suggesting
only
is that we
thing that
call
might
him here and we
fire
run
him-
interference. We run interference and we try our best to to get him to focus on us.
And I believe that going to the Amber Temple will do that in and of itself.
Right.
I have just the gravest foreboding should you try to call him here and renegotiate.
My only fear now is that we go here and we do this. And then when we return, we find out that it's too late.
Even if he turns her into such as he, there is a way. It is not pleasant to consider, but the cure for vampirism is to slay the vampire and then to raise the person back from the dead. The curse is lifted in the raising. To Patrick, that was true in 1E and 2E. I don't know if it's still true, but I'm just going to play it as Telwyn has always heard that.
You could say that that's the lore that she hears. It's not specifically how vampires work in this setting, but I mean, if Telwyn thinks that, we could keep going with that.
I figured, even if that's not true, how the game of telephone works.
Yeah.
That might be what she's heard. So, back to being in character. It is a terrible hope to cling to, but it's better than no hope at all.
Agreed. So I'm in favor of moving forward to the Amber Temple, with or without my attempts to negotiate with Strahd for more time. What of you, Mautan?
If anyone is to negotiate with Strahd, may I make a suggestion? Let it not be you, Duncan, but Mautan, who has already negotiated with a vampire once and won.
I would not say no.
Let's not rule out the possibility that Rocky does indeed have a dream which points us in the right direction.
I do think we should try that first. Rocky, do you mind doing that?
Rocky shrugs. He's fine doing that.
You may attempt it. We should not hinge all of our hopes on that.
No, of course not, of course not.
Duncan thinks that he can handle Strahd in a conversation. I have full faith in him. He has already struck a deal. Wouldn't hurt to try again, but if you would rather I talk to him, I can try to get through. They're not all monsters.
I was standing outside the door the whole time listening. You were brilliant, Mautan. I would not have believed that any mortal could be so adept at dealing with a fiend from hell.
I talked to her as if she were a human, and she listened.
Yes, and I don't know whether that approach will work with Strahd, but it's an approach that I can't take, and perhaps you can.
Things aren't always as they seem. They're not all black and white.
In some things, Mautan, they are.
I refuse
However,
to believe that.
If he told the truth when he said that he was once a good person, if that is true, and if that good person lives on in any smallest scrap within him, you might be able to reach that. I can't.
You simply must see the man behind the beast. That is all. We all have hearts, we all have feelings, we all have souls. We all have something that we can reach, something that we cling on to, even
You saw
after
my
death.
only hope of reaching him. I spoke of love, and I spoke from experience. And it did not move him.
Well,
I have tried the only thing that I had.
love is not always the best thing.
Then try what
We-
you think is best.
Well, we have lots of options. What say we?
Well, I don't think we're going anywhere at the moment, and we all have wounds that need to be healed, so I think a rest is in order. Maybe after a rest, we'll have clear minds to move ahead.
Be best.
And we've rested. Can we please ask Rocky to try to reach Desna? She has been generous with advice to him before.
I think that that's in order then.
Rocky, would you mind?
Rocky shakes his head and gives a bit of a smile, and kind of sits down and pulls out his holy symbol and prays to Desna. We
Okay.
can roll a religion check and fall asleep.
Yeah.
I think-
What do you
I think
want
we're
to say?
taking a long rest, by the way, with this. I think.
Yeah, everybody's going for a long rest here.
I'm assuming.
Okay.
If we're going
Yeah.
to sleep the night, I strongly suggest we stand watches.
Oh yeah, of course, of course.
Okay. So, Rocky, do you want to say anything particular with it to help the roll to kind of get the vision?
I want to give impression of like guidance and supplication, in the image of like where we are when I was drawing the map, and confusion, and the desire to be close to her. And I will just say the word Desna again because she told me that if I ever called her name, she'd be there for me.
Okay.
More than anything, I want the pervading thought of being lost to be strong.
Okay. So I'll have you roll a religion check as you enter into your long rest. So you guys want to take watches? Who would want to take first watch?
I'll volunteer Telwyn for that.
I'll go second.
I would like to use a luck point, if that's fine. I have one left today.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
So,
So 12. And then Telwyn's gonna take how many hours for the first watch?
We need 8 hours, correct?
Yes.
Okay, there are 4 of us, so that would be 2 hours each. She's going to spend as much of it as she can stand outside so she can try to see the stars and the moon and pray to Saloon first, and then come back inside and pray to Raven Queen.
Okay. So you want to try and start the first part of your watch outside?
Yeah, she may not be able to last more than a couple of minutes, but I feel that she feels it's important to see the moon and the stars as long as she can.
Okay. So I'll have you. You can kind of just take a step outside as you try and huddle up and keep a watch outside. I'll have you go ahead and roll a perception check out there.
Is this staircase like the wall?
Yeah, there's a
beams
wall.
Is it like a solid wall, or is it like like how some staircases like this have like an under?
No, this is
Under
this
thing?
is solid wall.
All right, I'll sit here and I'll scroll. I'll sprawl out my meditation scroll, gonna
Okay.
set up some candles and stuff, and I'll start to focus and recenter myself.
If it matters, her passive perception is 14.
Yeah, but since you're actively taking a watch, it's always the active.
Okay.
Passive is like if you're walking around, like not like actively paying attention to things. It's just like what you like randomly notice when you're not paying attention to things.
Right. Well, I haven't used Favored by the Gods, so can I add to that?
Yes. So, Mountain, what else were you doing over here as you bundle up?
I just rolled out a meditation scroll and set up some like incense.
Okay.
And I'm just meditating, just legs crossed, hands out, eyes closed, recentering myself and looking inward for guidance.
All right. And then Duncan.
Duncan's gonna eat some rations, and then he's going to set out his bedroll, and then he's going to pour out his bag of Simon pieces and try to work it back together with what little time he has.
Okay, I'll have you make a Tinker's check on that. So you begin putting these all together. It's kind of hard to figure out what pieces together. You know like the general layout of what the body should look like, but there's like weird random gears that need to be placed in certain spots. There's like bolts and things like that that are like all like scattered about. There's like these strange little gadgets and gizmos that need to be placed in certain spots. You managed to like get a little bit of a headway, but you like just feel like kind of drowsy as like sleep starting to overtake you, and you realize you haven't slept like all day, and you've been up almost all night now.
Then he will put that to rest and take some time to sleep until it's his turn to go and watch.
Okay. So Telwyn, as you wait outside, you could feel kind of the cold, kind of biting into you. You don't have any furs or anything like that, do you? Or any kind of cold weather gear?
Unfortunately, no, so she probably won't last outside long.
Yeah. So 16 on the perception check. As you're out here, making your watch, I need you to make a Constitution save. Uh, 14 should be fine. You feel like the cold biting into you, but for right now, you feel like you can kind of stave off the effects of the cold as you continue to keep watch. It's chilly. It's around -20 right now, but you manage to like fight against it. As you are
Probably stamping her feet, slapping her arms and everything, keeping the blood flowing.
as you are watching out, keeping a lookout, stamping your feet, kind of like trying to keep yourself warm, you hear out in the distance kind of like this weird bugling sound. It's almost, have you ever heard like an elk bugle?
Yes.
You hear that pretty much out in the distance. Hard to tell how far away, but like you can hear it kind of out into the distance. Oh, also I apologize. So like instead of like normally like up on the map would be north, on this map upwards is actually eastwards. So I made the mistake of saying it was northward before to you, but it's actually eastward. North, if north on the map is eastward direction.
It's all good.
But you can almost kind of sense that the sound is coming from that direction. Telwyn, can't as you look out, you don't see anything except for like the swirling snow in the darkness, but you hear just like that warble from far away.
Okay. Going to try to find a point from which I can get a view in that direction. See if I can
Go on the
see.
roof.
Yeah, but there's nobody up there to lower a rope this time.
Oh no, the roof of the
In this
the roof of the
in this
tower.
guardhouse, yeah, in this guardhouse,
Yeah,
there's
there's a
stairs going up to the
staircase.
roof.
Ah, okay. Alright, so she'll trot up the stairs and take a look out.
Okay. So as you go up, you can see there's like these 10 statues of female warriors up here. There's like skeletons lying like underneath the snow, kind of buried underneath on this rooftop up here. But as you take a look out, I'm gonna have you make another perception check.
Search the skeletons.
Probably need to make another con check too, because the wind will be worse up here.
Probably. It's the cold weather checks are only like every hour though.
Okay, so perception, but no con.
Okay, so as you look out, you're scanning around trying to see anything. The wind's just kind of buffeting your face. It's hard to see anything. Like you can just barely see the bridge out to the west, spanning across the gorge. Can't see anything intermingled out with the snow. Once again, though, you do hear that warbled cry, almost closer now. Still no sight of anything that you could see.
Going to try to withstand the harsher winds here just a little longer, because it's troubling that the sound is approaching.
Okay. As time goes on, now I'll probably have you make another con save as another hour or so passes as you try and like keep watch out here.
How long has she been on watch, by the way? Because her watch turn is 2 hours.
This is getting close to this is pretty much right at the 2 hour mark almost.
Ah, okay.
So yeah, you're fine once again as you're scanning out, trying to look and see. No sign once again. Every once in a while you can hear like the shriek of that elk call coming from somewhere, but no sight of anything. Hold on one sec. Yeah, still no sight of anything that you could see.
Okay, who was supposed to take second watch?
I think it was me.
Okay. So Telvin gently shakes Duncan awake.
Yes, is it time for school already, Mother?
No, darling. It's time for your watch.
I was having such a pleasant dream.
I'm sorry. There is something you should be aware of.
Yes.
And Telvin describes the sound.
It sounds horrifying.
Duncan, you've done some hunting in your time, so you're also very familiar with what elk sounds like. An elk horn sound like.
Sounds like an elk call.
Yes, but I cannot think of any reason why elk would be moving toward us.
Well, that's not necessarily true. Elk live in the mountains, and this fortress is abandoned. For all we know, this is a migratory path for them.
I do not know as much about hunting as you do, but I would have thought that they would be able to detect our scent and know that this place is not abandoned tonight.
Well, it depends on the kind of call that you received. You see, when an elk senses danger, a lot of times they will give a warning call to whatever it is, be it another male or be it some creature off in the distance. They might not be able to see them, but they might be able to smell them, and it lets a potential predator know that they are sensed. So it may have just been a warning call, but I will definitely keep an eye out. I mean, I've just been eating bloody rations tonight. I wouldn't mind to have some delicious elk steak for breakfast.
Yes, good luck. And be on your guard.
And where do you think is the best vantage point for me to go? Up top?
If you can stand the wind, it's quite biting up top.
Duncan will pinch the fabric on his brand new cloak and just be like, "Oh, I think I'll be all right."
Yes, as I said, good luck.
And with that, he'll take his crossbow and go up to the roof.
Okay. So you head on up to the roof, got your crossbow at the ready. As you make your way up there, I'll have you go ahead and roll a perception check. Okay, so you settle yourself in, trying to keep watch as best you can. Without dark vision, it's terribly hard to see anything through all the snow. I mean, I assume you probably light a torch while you're up here too, though, or
Yeah.
something. To
Maybe I take Mautan's lantern if he's permitting,
Sure.
so that the fire is of whatever it is isn't exposed to the wind and the snow.
Okay. So you go ahead and get the lantern and keep a lookout. Don't see much out here. About an hour or so passes, and then I need you to make a con save. You
Hold
get
on 1 sec,
advantage on this since you are wearing cold weather gear.
First, when he'd go up, he'd notice the bodies and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
So I just want to, I want him to take an investigation to figure out if there's a reason why they died, because obviously he's frightened that whatever killed these things is going to come for him. So he wants to do an investigation for signs of how they might have been killed.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and make an investigation. As you look about these bodies, you don't see any signs of physical injury on them. It looks like whoever was up here might have frozen to death as they stayed watch up here.
Wish that they had a cloak when they were up here, and he just gives a little flourish with his fine cloak, and then he'll search the bodies.
Okay. From what you can see, there's there's a couple arrows that have been not completely broken or rusted away entirely. There's probably 2 arrows or so that haven't completely rotted and been destroyed. There's not a whole lot on them. There is a silver blade that's kind of chipped and frayed and worn down, but the silver still kind of gleams a little bit in the light. It looks more like it's a silvered longsword.
He will.
But it's kind of chipped a little bit. It might not be in the best shape.
Gotcha. He'll take that for now, and he'll offer it to his comrades later.
You do also notice there's a couple broken pikes up here. The armor they're wearing is all rusted and kind of worn away by the elements. Pretty much everything else that you could find up here is just completely worn away.
Okay. Then he will resume his watch.
Okay. So yeah, about an hour goes through, so you'll need to make a con save. This is with advantage because of cold weather gear.
I mean, I'll just take that. It's already high enough, I assume.
Yeah, 24 is pretty good. Unless you want to get a nat 20, but I don't know. You're good.
So good.
Yeah, so as the hour goes on, you actually end up hearing that elk call from before.
Alright, I would like to make a focus perception check in the direction of it, looking for it specifically, if possible.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and make a perception check.
Didn't mean to roll that with advantage.
That's okay, we'll just use the first one. 15?
Yes.
Alright, let's see. Okay. You do see, as you are looking out, you can see kind of something dimly in the distance. And once again, you hear that elk call again, just coming from the distance, but it's kind of strangely pitched to you, Duncan. It's got this strange off-kilter pitch to it. Being a hunter, you've heard plenty of elk. It seems just kind of amplified and echoey.
Is there any check I can make to discern what it is? Survival?
Yeah, you can go for it.
Nature?
I would say this is
Nature,
more
right?
so nature.
Okay.
With a 10, it's kind of hard to pinpoint what seems kind of off about it. but you don't really notice much else. The sound kind of like dies off after a time, and you don't really hear it anymore. And as we go on to like the second hour of the watch, I'll have you
I
make
was
one.
actually considering having him going down there and investigating, to be honest.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I'd like to make my way down at the tower because he's hungry for elk and he's a budding ranger, so he needs to have some tracking.
All right, so
Tracking experience here. So
you start to make your way out the tower, looking around.
Elk sound creepy enough on their own.
I know, but he just thinks it's a normal elk, you know. Like, well, he knows it's something different, so maybe it's a big elk. So I guess I'd like to do. I'd like to sneak up on it, whatever it is. So if that's possible.
Okay, so yeah, I'll have you make a stealth check. So 17, you kind of start creeping ahead with your crossbow at the ready. Oh, careful there.
Yeah. Sorry, could you move me along?
Yeah, so like you're on the path right here as you move a little bit forward. See
Do
a
you
little
have
bit.
any music tonight?
I do have I just mostly have like ambience, but I could put a little bit of music on.
You could do like snow ambience if you have that.
Oh, I hear snow ambience.
I don't hear anything.
Oh.
Oh, it's like wind and blizzardy.
It's divine.
Yeah, I don't have any
It's like
of that.
music ears.
If you go to the gear and you go to the master music volume, you can kind of raise and lower some of it. If you are having a little bit of trouble hearing.
Mine's all pretty much all the way up.
Oh, that's weird.
So now that I'm closer, do you want me to like make another check or something like that?
Yeah, have another perception check as you're out here. And light up that you have like a torch light going here.
Yeah, I don't have the light set.
Is that a little bit better?
Yeah. But I feel like I should have dim radius a little bit further.
Okay.
Should be what I don't know what hooded lantern is. I think it's like
30 feet bright and then 30 feet dim.
Yeah. Oh goodness.
Did that change anything?
Yeah, I can see it now.
Okay. As you were looking out, you see all of a sudden coming from like the left, down the top, like coming from like down towards the top of the mountaintops. You see something like kind of leaping and scrambling down, and kind of like looks at you for a second, and just kind of like stares, kind of like it looks like a goat, but kind of like larger, like mountain goats.
Yes.
It's kind of like that size, like just like one of those weird mountain goats that like they like climb up the sides of walls, kind of mountain goat.
Is there anything to be perceived about it? Like, does he notice anything like strange about it? Like it's some kind of demon goat or something like that, or is it just a regular goat as far as he knows? Like, should I roll something for that, or?
I mean, you can make another nature check on this thing. 3. It looks like a goat to you. I mean, nothing like demonic about it or anything like that. It just, you could see like this goat staring at you.
And it's not bolting. It's just there staring at
It's kind of staring at you. It looks kind of terrified that it sees you now. But it like looks kind of like locked in place. Like you're not moving, it's not moving. It's like just kind of waiting.
Goat in the headlights.
It is a goat in the headlights right now.
Duncan will set down his lantern and he will slowly pull out his crossbow.
Okay. As you slowly lower your lower the lantern and pull up the crossbow, you can see kind of a shape kind of looming behind the goat itself, kind of overarching the goat itself, just kind of like it's hard. It's like you could probably see it right here now. I don't know if you can see it.
It's in dim light though, so I have no idea what it is, which is awesome.
It looks humanoid in shape, kind of gaunt and thin and frail, but you could see horns coming up out of the top of its head as well. And once again, you hear this loud, it's just blaring like in your eardrums now, that elk warble once more, but like amplified to 100 here. And the goat just like tenses up again. You see the arm of whatever's behind it reach out. It snatches up at the goat. You can see it like it's almost in a blink of an eye movement, like slashes out and gets the goat. The goat's throat is just torn open. Blood starts pouring everywhere as the goat's just like bleeding, dying out. The arms reach out, grab at the goat, and drag it back into the darkness.
Can I make a
And-
joke here? I'm really sorry. I have to. Patrick, you know why. Where's the goat?
Where's the goat?
Oh my gosh. So with a now trembling hand, he lowers his crossbow, picks up the lantern, says, "I fucking hate Barovia," and turns and begins bolting back towards the tower.
Yeah.
He's not sticking around.
Yeah, you just see blood still spattered everywhere as this shape like drags the goat off into the distance. I wish I had like actual sound effects for that elk call because they're just terrifying.
I
I
mean,
can
you
find
could.
it if you want.
No, you can do that kind of stuff. You just have to interrupt your. You have to get the sound effects ready as like soundtracks, as your soundtracks, and then you could cue them whenever you needed them.
Yeah, I know. I just couldn't find like a good, like short little elk call. Also, I didn't know that this thing was gonna show up because this was just like one of multiple things that could have showed up.
Duncan is going to run back to the tower. I don't know if this thing's going to chase him or what, but he's going back. So you can. I don't know if you want to have him like make checks or do something. I don't know.
I mean, to make it back, it's probably like he's just terrified running back for shelter. Like this thing's not coming after him, as for what he can tell. It's like it's got the goat, and now he's just like back, out of breath, just like probably terrified out of his wits as he's back inside the guardhouse. But I can guide your token back.
Yes, please. I didn't know. I didn't want to move it back without
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, he'll slam the door behind him and just kind of like slump down against it, breathing hard. Now, be real with me. Did I just see a yeti?
You can make a nature check once more to know what this thing was.
A delicious elk call sound that.
Oh gosh, with 11,
yeah.
no, you don't know what this thing was.
You saw the devil. Twist. It was Strahd the whole time.
Out of
It was
character,
Ireena.
out of character, I will say it wasn't a yeti, but
You don't know.
Duncan will spend the rest of the night peering out the door, or the rest of his watch peering out the door. Like he's not going outside. He's not going up top. He's not gonna wake anybody because it didn't seem like it came after him. But he's gonna just chill.
all right. So I'm assuming your watch probably ends at that point, and then if you want to wake up whoever's next.
I think we're gonna give probably Rocky the most amount of time to sleep so he can dream. So I'll guess I'll nudge Mount on and give him his lantern.
Oh, thank you. I'm gonna quickly curl up the roll and then before thing tuck it carefully into my bag and rub all the incense.
Do yourself a favor. Don't go outside.
Why?
I saw something out there on the trail. I don't know what it was. It was just shadow to me, but I saw it kill and consume a goat.
A bear, perhaps?
I don't think it was a bear. Bears don't move that quickly.
Can I just say, like, in character, Rocky hates Mautan, but I love Mautan's he's just so specific and particular and detailed about what he does. I just love it.
Well, there's lots of things in the mountains and the woods. I'm sure it was just another predator.
I don't think this was a normal predator. It was there was a goat. You see, it
And Mautan's gonna kind of gently put his hands on Duncan's shoulders and kind of pat him on the side. There, it's all right now. He's gonna guide him over to where his bedroll is.
He'll lay down.
Lay him down and like kind of tuck him in and set up some incense. This will calm you down. Don't worry.
Like within a minute, he's like asleep and he's muttering to himself about school and mother.
I'll tuck
I didn't
Some
want
of
to
his-
go.
some of his hair out of his face.
Mother, please don't make me learn about goats again.
Then Meltan will go up, grab his lantern, and I guess go up top.
Okay.
For his watch.
All right. So I'll have you roll your perception and your con
Oh,
and your
boy.
con save. You have
I have furs.
you have furs as well, so yeah, you have advantage on your save.
Alright, perception. Deal. And then constitution saving throw.
Yeah.
Oh, I have advantage.
Nat 20. You don't even, the cold never bothered you anyway, Maltan. So you're up at the top here, listening around. You hear kind of like those strange elk cries, but they seem to be far in the distance right now. Seems like pretty far off, actually. Keeping watch throughout the night. Don't really see too much. You could see kind of barely in the distance that walkway going across the ravine. Nothing else seems to show up at this point that you can hear. And I'll go ahead and narrate just out that for the rest of this, like, you don't really hear anything of any kind of significance.
Mm-hmm.
And with Nat 20, like, you're like super
Pretty
warm.
good.
You're like snug. You found like the perfect spot to just like
And
camp up.
I like Netbird like nestle in somewhere and kind of like roost.
And yeah, by the end of there, you managed to finish up your watch. And I think at this point, like, it's been enough time where like light's showing up. There's probably still like a little bit more time before everybody gets their full long rest in. But
I'm gonna just let Rocky sleep.
okay, and just go for the rest of yours.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I'll have you make. Well, with a nat 20, I feel like you probably shouldn't have to like make another like save throughout the watch, because like you just like got like your perfect spot.
I'm at perfect spot, tucked in my furs, got my wings wrapped around me, lantern's in a nice position.
And as the morning comes, you finish up your watch. You don't hear any more cries out in the distance. As you make your way back down, you can see everybody just kind of sleeping soundly down below. Rocky, strangely, it's kind of like a dreamless night. Nothing really shows up in your visions at all that you could see. But you wake up and realize that no dream came during the night.
So did we long rest successfully, I'm assuming?
Yeah, so everybody there has got their long rest in. Yeah.
Is there a long rest button on here or no?
There should be, I think, right?
No, I think you just have to do it manually.
That's kind of annoying. But yeah, so spell slots are back, key points are back, and all your hit points are back.
I have a question for you, Patrick.
Okay.
Now we can totally say no to this, but technically, wouldn't my luck points restart at midnight?
I think they do. I think it says somewhere in specifically when they restart. Somewhere in there.
That being said, could I try to make another religion check just to try? Because I don't want this atheistic bird to show up Desna.
Let me check and see.
If not, it's totally fine.
Is
I
it
just
the
wanted
luck
to check and
feat?
see. Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
Well, blah, blah, blah.
I'm pretty sure it says after a long rest.
Yeah, you finish it at the end of the long rest.
Yeah, so they come back
Oh, okay.
they come back at a long rest. So now they're back. But yeah, at this point,
Can I pray really, really quick?
I mean, from what you know, like those visions only come during dreams, so you'd have to take another rest for it to like show up to you again.
Wait, so you didn't see anything?
Yeah, no, because I borked my roll.
Oh gosh, we're screwed. We're done. That's it. GG.
Yeah, no, end of campaign.
Yeah,
think
make a
after
suggestion.
that, Rocky will just sit down and try to meditate and pray again.
Okay.
Just because this is his whole deal, and if that's okay.
Okay. I'll have you make another roll then.
And I'm going to use another point just to burn it.
Okay.
Yeah, nope, I'm not going to use that one. 14.
Okay.
That's probably not going to give me anything better.
As you offer up your prayer, you can kind of feel. It's strange to pinpoint. You feel kind of a little bit of a sense of calm for right now. You can only take that as Desna kind of like assuring you like things are going okay for right now. Like it's not like anything terrible has happened yet. The best you can take it.
Okay. Rocky will sit up and kind of smile, and then clutch towards his heart, and then join the others. And I actually don't know how many rations I have. I've got 6. I'll be okay.
Only
And
have 5 left.
I'll eat some food.
Okay, so everybody
No,
kind of
I
sits
have-
down for some breakfast and kind of gets ready for the day ahead of them. What would everybody like to do for the day?
I think we're starting our trek to the
I'd
Amber
like to
Temple.
Yeah, I want to step outside and look up towards the statues and see what I see there real quick.
Okay, as you look at the statues, you notice they're actually looking not at you right now, but like back towards that western way where you guys came from originally.
Even so, Rocky will give a flourishing bow, thanks, and just make a symbol of appreciation, supplication, and then go back inside.
Okay, what does everybody else want to do?
We'll probably not eat breakfast since Dylan's got to ration her rations.
Duncan will do his best impression of that old dude Indianapolis Jones from Jaws, and explain like what he saw in the dark last night. It had dark eyes, lifeless, like doll's eyes. Just remind everybody to keep their heads on a swivel as they move forward today.
29 goats go into the mountain. 22 goats come out of the mountain.
Whatever that thing was took the rest. Farewell and adieu, we Barovian ladies. Yeah. So, what is our plan for today?
I think we're walking.
Yes, let's head for the Ember Temple.
Then we go. Is the blizzard settled for now?
It's mostly settled for right now. It's still extremely cold up here. Visibility is a lot better now, as the wind is not nearly as heavy as it was during the night. Most of the snow has settled at this point. I will say there is actually, I gotta draw this out where Duncan saw this. There is still some blood in the road. Oh, I put that on the wrong overlay. 1 second. There is still some blood up over here.
Like bloodstained snow?
Yeah, bloodstained snow up over here.
I'm still using my staff as like a walking stick.
Okay.
Being a budding ranger, I would like to have Duncan, now that it's like light out and maybe there's better conditions, I want him to have him like kneel down, maybe do, I don't know what you do for this, survival or nature, to try and figure out what possibly this could have been.
Yeah. I'm saying like to investigate like the scene of the crime area. Go ahead and make a survival check. That's a nat 20. Duncan just like kind of like settles down like Dark Knight mode, just kind of examining everything. He's just like in Batman detective mode at the moment, just like piecing together clues, Sherlock style. Like letters are floating everywhere, like all around him.
The hands were bound.
You see, yeah, those.
Here.
You could see like the blood spatter and like the way it was. You like can pinpoint like, okay, the claw came this way, making the blood spatter over here. That's the only way that I could have gotten this combination of droplets on the snow. And you could see the goat tracks coming down from the mountaintops down to this area here where it stopped in front of you, kind of goat in the headlight style. And you could see now the strange tracks behind where the body was struck down. They're like these strangely almost humanoid-ish tracks, but gaunt and like kind of clawed at the same time, almost as if like they were like a humanoid's foot, but like the toes were like extremely elongated with like claws on them themselves. And you could see kind of like a spot where like the goat was dragged through the snow to the west through this path here, and you could see like the feet moving beside it, like it was dragging it along beside it.
So us moving forward,
going
is
along like
inevitably
this
gonna be...
way.
Okay, so we're going to be following this trail regardless. So I want to have, as we go, I want to have Duncan following this trail, just so we can kind of get an idea where this thing went. Hello?
Yeah, so yeah, you can kind of like keep going that way. Hold on. Tyler's trying to text me about my creature. It's a different kind than the one that we. It's a different kind than the one we fought, Tyler.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, you move along. Is anybody like kind of keeping watch for anything, or just kind of like?
I will.
Do we set up a marching order? Should we set up a marching order?
I think we already did one, kinda.
I think Duncan's kind of like in the lead here. Mountain's behind him. Rocky's kind of like trailing a little bit behind back here.
Yeah, I guess Tellen could take the rear guard then.
Okay. Yeah, they're just heading up the path if you want to follow them.
Tellen's going to have her crossbow out and a bolt knocked.
As a note, I want my hood up right now, just because it's so bright. Rocky wouldn't like it.
So presumably the trail goes off of the pathway up here to the left?
Yeah, it starts trailing off to the left over there, off the path now.
I didn't think that chasing after this thing would be a useful usage of our time, considering how dangerous it was. It did seem more interested in finding a snack than coming after me, which means that it might be feral, whatever it is.
Rocky nods softly. Snack.
Certainly not one of Strahd's minions, or otherwise I would be a much bloodier man talking to you here today.
Rocky nods and just says, snack.
Yes, precisely. So what are we standing in front of here? This bridge?
So yeah, this is what looks like a bridge overgoing a ravine. So you can see it looks like a large gorge. At the end of each bridge, there's a 30-foot tall, 30-foot wide stone arch. And atop each one are two statues of armored knights on horseback with lances. They look like they're charging towards one another. So just at like the top, over the top of this one and the top of this one, has like a knight on a horse with a lance, looking like they're like jousting each other. And you can see down at the very far end, there's also two like more gatehouses, same style, but one of them on the left side, on that one, on the far side, is all crumbled and like destroyed. It looks like.
Looking at the bridge, does it look sturdy or does it look janky? Because it looks kind of janky in the shirt.
It looks a little janky to you. Like bits of it have crumbled and fallen into the pass down below. It looks like.
Now, I would like to take this opportunity to see if I can figure out how these wings work, if that's okay.
Okay. That's gonna be. This is just a straight intelligence check. I've got like a set DC for it.
I would like to use a luck point on that.
Okay.
If that's fine.
This is the second luck point today.
No, I did not figure that out. That is an 8.
With an
unless
8.
Your DC is fuck nothing.
No, it's a little bit higher than that. With an 8, it's a little bit hard to figure out the mechanisms behind this thing. You kind of like fiddle around with like this lever, and like the wings start to like unfold a little bit, but they like don't unfold all the way. And like there's weird like cranks that you have to pull, levers to like make them move about, and it's just baffling to like try and like get the right one.
Fail. I'm just gonna squawk and flail and like be frustrated. And with that frustration, I'll take out my traveler staff, kind of smack it against the ground and turn it into rope, and then tie it around my waist, and then hand the other hand to Duncan.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I've just tied a rope around my waist and hand the other end to you, and I kind of just gesture towards my waist and like just sort of tie yourself up.
What are you planning to do?
Rocky says his name and makes the sounds of rocks rolling down a hill, and then gestures over towards the bridge, and then whistles the end of the rope.
I don't think that tying your rope off to me is the best idea, but perhaps there's some place on the bridge that we could do this, that would support you a little bit better, maybe.
Rock.
And he leans in. He leans between you and me. I think that Telwyn would be a better choice.
Rocky huffs and makes the sound of rocks rolling down the hill, and then a loud, like a mid-range scream, and then jerks on the rope, trying to say that if you tie yourself to me, if one of us falls, the other can catch the other.
I don't know if Rocky has a very good understanding of physics.
Not
but
at
dear
all.
God. Oh my gosh.
Rocky and Duncan are buds.
He does not want any part of this, dude. He's gonna refuse this.
Rocky just huffs.
Why don't you tie yourself off to the statue, and then you'd be fine? Listen, I'm not going to die because of some silly quest you have to copy Mautan. He'll just like point over to Mautan.
Oh,
What? Did someone say my name?
Rocky just glares at Duncan and Mautan and Duncan, and he's so mad. And he's going to take the other end of his rope and tie it literally to a stick, and just drag the stick behind him and just huff, like head down, hood up, and just drag the stick behind him.
Rocky, if you wish to try your technique with me, I'm willing.
I need to make a check.
Okay. So if I'm getting this right, you're wanting someone to hold onto this rope while you try and fly?
No, the bridge is going to collapse,
Okay.
and he's going to look at his family again and trying to tie myself to somebody else, that if somebody falls, catch them, or if I fall, they can catch me.
Okay.
And nobody likes Rocky, apparently, and wants to save him.
Someone likes Rocky.
And Rocky doesn't know if he trusts Tsolen, because Tsolen did a lot of damage, I heard, to everybody last session. And that kind of freaks him out. And so, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Well, she offered.
Rocky's just going to drag his pet stick behind him. This is his second best stick now, so this is technically the third best stick, but the statue still has the first best stick. So, it's got a lot of little knots on it.
Alright, so what's everybody doing? So you're standing before this bridge. It's this massive stone bridge. It's about, let's see, how far across is it? About 150 feet going across that you'd have to cross here.
How far down does it drop?
It drops down about, from what you could tell, like 600 feet or so.
Is that river frozen or?
This river
flowing?
there's bits of it that are frozen, but it seems to flow a little bit. Like the edges of it seem to be kind of frozen. there's like patches of frozen, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Are there any shadows like in the guard towers on the other side of the bridge?
Probably, presumably, not that you could see from over here though.
I mean, it's pretty far, yeah.
And yeah, and you can only teleport 60 feet too. This is about 150 feet across.
True.
How far is the drop to the water?
About 600 feet down.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, that rope looks pretty nice, doesn't it, folks?
I mean, for the record, Duncan had no idea what you were proposing. He thought you were going to just jump off the bridge. Like,
Oh no, it's fair. It's totally fair.
Well, there's nothing else for it.
this bridge doesn't look terrible. Let's just cross it.
So, as you guys make your way across, you notice a bit of like the stone crumbles and like chips and starts like falling into the precipice below, but for the most part, it seems to hold your weight as you go across. Some of it seems to have fallen away in places, like you can see like there's chips in it that have like you could like look down and just see like the water down below. And as you make your way across, you see these little indents. They're like, I guess, little guard towers, where people can like go in and like shelter from the elements. But yeah, as you make your way across, once again, you kind of all of you at once hear that elk call once more, and it seems to be coming back from where you just came across that bridge, somewhere back in that direction.
We should keep moving quickly.
Yeah, Rocky gets the heck out of there.
Okay. And as you keep moving, you start heading along the pass. So it's still it's not as cold as it was the previous night, but it is still like around like 0-degree weather here. So I'm going to have everybody that's traveling to make a con save. Everybody that's wearing cold weather gear can make it with advantage.
I feel like I got cold weather cloaks, but I don't fully remember. Do you remember, Patrick?
I'm pretty sure you and Duncan both got some.
Like, Duncan bought a bear pelt, but as soon as he got his new cloak, he literally threw the stinky bear pelt down right where he stood and just took this.
Oh yeah, you got that guy's other like cloak.
Yeah. Like, Duncan is so warm right now that he's actually like taking stuff off. Like, he has his cloak open. He's like got his pulling on his collar because he's like a little bit hot under there, you know.
For the sake of being prepared, can Rocky have grabbed that cloak and just have that?
Yeah.
I don't. Was that last session?
Yeah, but you and Mauton had gone ahead, and Telwyn had gone ahead to investigate the next area.
Oh, that was when you went like downstairs into the catacombs to scout ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind then. I think I know I at least got more clothes. Because I have my initial outfit, and then I got more clothes in Velaki. But I'll just make the con save to see how I do.
I know Mauton got a pelt with me. He paid full price for it, like a dick.
Yeah. Okay. So I mean, he probably could have like handed it off to you too.
It's okay. I'll just freeze to death. I'm an Eagle Scout. I can take it.
But Duncan's got a nat 20, so he's just like perfectly warm in his new coat. Everybody's got a good save there. As you.
I'm sorry, I'm just waiting on my sheet to load.
Oh, no problem. I'm also gonna get us ready for the next screen. So if anybody wants to do anything in the meanwhile, is anybody like?
Back over her shoulder because we heard the sound.
Yeah, is anybody making like perception checks at this point?
Yes.
Selwyn.
Alright, so I'll have you guys, whoever's doing their perception checks can roll their perception checks here.
Oops, my bad.
While I set up the rest of the stuff.
Survived the cold, but sees nothing.
Okay, so this should be good now. I think everybody should be able to see. Also, Rocky, don't forget to put your health back to normal since you took a long rest. I think you're still at 19 hit.
Oh. Yes, thank you so much.
Okay, so 16,
It'll probably
15,
come in handy, huh?
and a 6 for perceptions. Oh, and a 17 from Duncan. Okay.
No, 13 for me.
Everyone did pretty well
13
on
for me.
perception
Oh, 13.
except Rocky.
Okay, I gotcha. Okay, yeah, no sight of anything as you make your way through. Duncan for like, oh wait, no, not Duncan. Who's got the highest perception here? Mountan. For almost a second, you could swear you see something move out of the corner of your eye, and you try and pinpoint it, and just all you see is snow just lying around. You don't see anything moving that you could see. You just almost swear, like for a split second, you saw something, and then it's gone out of the corner of your eye. But as another hour passes or so, you guys find yourselves at what looks like a large building of some kind going into the mountain itself. Let's see if I got a good description for it. So the road seems to fade away under a covering of snow, but it takes you far enough to see the facade of some kind of temple carved into the mountainside ahead. The front of the structure is about 50 feet high. The mountain still goes further up higher above it, but the structure itself ends at around 50 feet high. There are about 6 alcoves containing what looks like 20-foot tall statues lining it. So you see 3 on the left side and 3 on the right side, these 20-foot tall statues. They look like they're carved out of amber. They all depict a faceless, hooded figure, their hands pressed together in a gesture of prayer, kind of like, it almost looks like when Mountan does his little gesture, they're making the same exact gesture. But strangely enough, in the hood you could see the faces are completely blank, no eyes, no mouth, nothing. Between the 2 innermost statues, there's a 20-foot tall archway right over here, leading down with a staircase leading downward into the temple itself. It looks like, and then to the very left, it looks like there's some kind of like area that's crumbled in over here, and there's like an area that's crumbled a little bit over to the right as well.
Okay, first things first, perception check, just to check it, like, if any movement, anything that we see looking at us, maybe, something funky with the stat, just any enemies, you know?
Okay, I'll have you make another perception check one now that you're in this new area.
Could I make one also?
Yes. Gosh, okay. 11, 16, anybody else looking around in this new area?
I'll do one.
4.
So yeah, 4 and then also 9. So basically, you don't see anything else moving around out here. Just this main statue out here. Telwyn with a 16 perception, you can kind of see there's like, so you see this like kind of area on the left over here with the kind of like crumbled area in on the map.
Yes.
You could see almost what looks like a light source coming from there.
What is that?
we get a ping?
Yeah, like right over.
Hold on. Let's not be too hasty. We should do this stealthily. We don't know if it's friend or foe.
It's a light.
But light usually means people, things.
Then it would be good to know. Moving closer, but not right up to it. What does Tolan see?
So over here, it looks pretty much like a natural fissure has opened in the mountainside west of the temple. It's kind of like a gap in this area over here, and if you get a little bit closer over into this area, you can like kind of see kind of like a little bit of a fissure with a little bit of light coming from there.
Just stay here for a moment. Let me investigate. And I would like Duncan to roll a stealth check to approach that corner.
Yeah, go for it. 22. So Duncan just like kind of like solid snake moves his way upwards, like. So you can see this area looks like it's kind of crumbled in. It looks like there was kind of an overhang at one point, and it kind of like started falling and into disrepair. And you can see kind of like this 2-foot wide fissure, which looks like it leads probably into the temple itself. And there's some kind of light coming from that area.
All right, I'm gonna keep going to the next corner.
Yeah, so there's that like 2-foot wide gap in there.
All right, I can see tokens at the moment.
Yeah.
Can I take a perception check to kind of just see what I'm looking at here?
Yeah.
Like I'll hold up 2 finger, like my eyes to single to everybody else, like my fingers to my eyes, and then say like, give them a symbol that I see 2 things, two people.
All the way up here, so I don't see that.
Alright, so it's hard to kind of see through the fissure itself. It kind of like is jagged and uneven, but you could see it looks like there's people resting inside. You can kind of hear some faint voices, but it's hard to make out what they're saying inside there. It's from the pieces that you can make out, doesn't sound like common at the moment. It doesn't sound like common at all from what you can hear.
You have access to my character sheet, so you could let me know if it's something I could understand, but I would like to get closer.
I don't think this is like anything anybody here understands, actually.
All right.
Because this is like a particular. You can kind of hear. It sounds like bits and pieces of it are kind of common interwoven into it, but it seems like a strange dialect of common itself, like an offshoot of common.
It's like those mountain men that Saruman used.
Is it deep speech?
It is not deep speech, no.
Dang it. Well, I tried, guys.
All right, Duncan will beckon for his comrades to come closer, but he'll just say like put a finger to his lips to tell him to be quiet.
So, what would everybody else like to do?
Tolan will attempt to be quiet.
Maybe we could pass it out a trace.
Hey, I can do that. Hold on.
Wait, is it concentration?
Pass without a trace is concentration, yes.
So you know what? Hold off on it, because we might need it for later on. And these guys, they look like they might be rabid Deliverance style hillbillies.
So Tolan kind of clinks up behind you, just you can hear like the armor just kind of jangling a little bit as Mountan just kind of like appears behind you, just like silently.
You can switch into the corner there if you want to see what I see.
Anybody doing anything else?
Tillen will
I'm gonna hang out and wait.
put away her crossbow and get her sword ready.
So I count 3 men and 1 bloody big dog. There's no telling whether they're hostile or not.
We
I'd
need to
say-
disturb them at all. Do we need to disturb them at all? Can we not just go through the entrance?
Yeah. My concern is that the entrance will be watched. But this doesn't seem like it's a much better solution. So perhaps the main entrance is the way to go.
What does everybody suggest?
I mean, I don't think anybody should be squeezing through that crack there. I feel like that's just like I think now what we've learned is that we want to go ahead with caution.
I can just imagine Meltan squeezing through there and then Mrs. Doubtfire. Hello there.
Blue!
Oh, I must look like a yeti.
Right, I'm gonna have him go back to the main path.
Rocky, if you want to like come up along with them, you can.
I would love.
And Duncan will explain what he saw to them, to Rocky, who didn't come with them. What we did see was 3 men who were sleeping on mats, and they looked like rough individuals that weren't speaking, that weren't quite speaking common, but maybe some derivation of it. And they had a giant, like, it looked like a warg with them, like a huge dog.
Okay, for the sake of like going into the Amber Temple, I'm going to turn off global illumination because there's not actually light sources in there.
All right.
So, let me just make sure, is everybody's vision set up properly?
Yeah, mine is currently.
Everybody
Mine
seems
is.
good?
Do we want me to put on the lantern?
Duncan would very much appreciate that. But
Alright.
Rocky has his demon sight, so.
Let's turn that lantern on.
I think I can see. Let me take. I've just looked at my character sheet and it says, and I quote, "Fuck you, I see everything."
It has 120 feet even through magic darkness.
Yeah, I can.
So, can you
I
currently see
think
120
that's
feet?
see. It gets dim at like a 95. Is that right? And then at 120 feet, it's gray, but it's dark.
Yeah, I think that should be right because I just have it set. Your light radius is 120 feet set in your character sheet, right, or in your character token.
Okay.
So that's probably how it works right in there. Because like at the very end, it starts getting a little bit dim, but you can like still see it.
Yeah.
But you can see through magical if it's magic. But yeah, do you guys want to go in? So Mountan has his light source on, so even if you don't have dark vision, you should still be able to see his light source coming off him.
Yes, very pleasant. Thank you for that. This might be the time for Pass Without a Trace. Considering what
I
we saw.
can do that. Yeah, I'll spend 2 key points on that.
Alright, Saraki, you're gonna cast Pass Without a Trace?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So everybody that wants to make a stealth check into the temple itself can, and add a +10 from the Pass Without a Trace.
Sweet.
I roll disadvantage
crap.
and add 10, right?
Yeah, so roll disadvantage and then add 10 to that. So that's 17 for Mountan, 24 for Duncan, 15 for Telwyn, and then 28 for Rocky.
I think Mautan should take the lead with his little lantern.
Yeah, so same rules for this. This is also a dungeon, so where your token is where I'm going to assume you're at. So just wherever you want, just be deliberate with where you place your token at.
My
Does
square
the
is 5
group
foot or
want
10 foot?
Tsolenka
Each
somewhere
square
else,
is
or should she take the rear guard?
Take the rear guard for now.
okay.
Okay.
And then each square is 10 feet, so each square on here is 10 feet, so your token will be like, it won't fill up the whole square, your token.
I would like to do perception inward to see if I hear anything.
Okay.
Same.
So anybody who wants to make perception checks can make perception checks as you enter your way in here. That's persuasion.
I would first, my persuasion, I'll persuade the bad things to go away.
So 15 from Duncan, 15 from Rocky. Mount 10, that's a performance check.
Whoops. I'm gonna perform and they're not gonna know I'm here.
That's good. That's a 16. And 7 from Telwyn. So are you looking through like these little windows here? Or just like in general, like scouting your way forward, trying to see what you can see? To the right over here, Mount 10, if as you look through, these are like little you know, like those little archer slits that you would like normally like stick, you could like just stick your bow through, but like not big enough to like other people can shoot through back at you without like trouble.
Yeah, arrow slits.
These are more so like arrow slits, and as you look through this window, actually that's Mount, is that Mount, oh, Rocky and Mount 10 are like on the same square. But as you look through there, on that right side one, it looks like there's a body lying on the ground in there, like a skeleton of some kind, but it's got like this blue cloak that's wrapped around him, and he's just kind of like on his side with like a staff in hand. Nothing on the left-hand side that you can see, Duncan. It looks like there's bits of like, oh, you shouldn't be able to move in through that.
Oh, there's a doorway there. Sorry about that.
Can I use this brief silence to make a weird point that I think is a thing? If I'm looking at this correctly and my knowledge of castles is accurate, the slats are designed to be able to shoot into the rooms, not out of them.
These are more so like designed what looks like for shooting out, like from inside the rooms to shoot out.
Barricade themselves in there and shoot out, and at people trying to like invade or
Yeah,
whatever.
like the slits themselves are smaller from this way, but look like they widen on the inside, so it's like easier for the person inside to shoot from.
Okay, you're right. My view of them was backwards. I thought that they got wider on the the outside, not the inside, but I was backwards.
Yeah, they're a little bit wider on the inside. So I think, yeah, this, like the way the dynamic lighting setting, like it lets your token like slip through it and go into the room, but these are just like narrow, like a couple inches wide, like
literally big enough for like a bolt or an arrow to go through. That's it.
A question, my favorite dungeon master.
Uh-huh.
How much light is in here?
How much light?
Yeah.
Just the light from Mautan's lantern right now, which goes out to about 60 feet.
I'm gonna tap Duncan's shoulder and point inside this arrow slit and point at the band, and kind of cock my head to the side in a questioning glance.
You're pointing to the body?
Yeah.
Very strange, but perhaps investigating would be the best thing. I don't suppose you could squeeze in there, could you?
Rocky nods and bamfs.
Alright, so you bamf inside this right room here?
Yeah.
Alright. So you take a look at this body here. So this is about, the ceiling in this room is about 10 feet high. The room is about 20 foot square. You can see now that slumped in the corner is this skeleton. It looks like he's in this blue wizard's robe, and he's clutching. Oh, I apologize. This is a wand in his hand, not a staff.
I have an obligatory question.
Yes.
Is it made of wood?
This wand looks like it's actually made of. Let me take a look. The wand itself is made of wood, but it's like this strange. Okay, so like trying to describe this correctly. It starts off solid, but then partway through it, it starts like intertwining amongst itself, kind of like a DNA helix almost. And as it goes up, the very top of it is metal, like the point, or sorry, the handle itself is metal. I apologize. The handle itself, where you would grip it, is metal. Then it starts like winding like this DNA helix until it gets to like solidified at the end, where like the point where like you would point with it.
Yes, I would like to loot the body and take everything, including the wand and the robes, because they look pretty swell.
Okay. The robe is a little bit musty smelling, but it seems fine. It's just kind of like a little bit moth-eaten, a little bit, but it's still functional. Yeah. So you have this wand and the robe now. Not sure what the wand does in general, but like.
Can I make a check to see if I can figure that out? No, I don't have an original thought. I have a fancy stick. Is there any money or anything like that on the wizard, man?
As you can make an investigation check.
I would love to. Well, actually, hold on just a... I forgot to adjust my stick count with the gargoyle werewolf creature. I'm gonna need to stock up soon. 6.
Nothing that seems like interesting to you. There's like a couple like pouches on them, but like instantly you're like dissatisfied that there's no money in there. Like there's just a lot of dust in here, and like bits of like old like broken like bows are in this room as well, and like broken arrows, but like nothing like supremely intact. It looks like this cloak and like the wand is like the only thing that like interests you in here, or of anything of interest in here.
Yeah, I'll just take one of the broken arrows and back out and give the broken arrow to Duncan and then just shrug and then show off my cloak and put it in my bag. And the wand goes with my stick collection.
That was rather fruitful.
Fucking nods.
Okay, showing nobody the wand.
Nope.
Then let us proceed. And I will gesture to Mautan.
While we start walking, Rocky will look at the wand and kind of tap it against the wall to see how fine the wood is.
The wood seems kind of sturdy. It seems actually extremely sturdy, almost as if like it's preserved really well in some kind of like something keeping it from like even snapping. Even like you bend it and like it doesn't even like really bend at all. It's not even like really pliable. Almost as if it like has like something like preserving it.
While we're walking, I will nudge Duncan and kind of show him the wand, and then go to bend it and show him that it doesn't break.
What is this supposed to be? Some kind of magic wand? I dare say that's the first. It's the first stick of in your collection which could amount to anything impressive, if you ask me.
You see, as you say that Rocky looked at the stick with like new wonder. He had no idea what he was holding. He's like, magic wand? Impressive.
But yes, I don't know much about these things, but I have heard a thing or two, and many of them, it's very simple. Activating them is very simple. You merely swish and flick.
I'm going to do that and point directly in front of me at this, like right here. I swish and flick.
Okay, you swish and flick. I don't know. Do you want to like channel a spell through it? Are you trying to channel a spell through it?
I'm literally just trying to activate the wand. I'm like trying to just do what he says. I would not have the thought to try to channel anything specific.
Okay, because I was like saying like you could also like if you're trying to activate it though, and like knowing like it's some kind of wand with like magical purpose, you could make an Arcana check to try and like do something with it.
I'll do that. Nope.
You swish and flick and it makes like it makes a very satisfying whooshing sound, but other than that.
Rocky gives an approving nod and tucks it into his cloak.
Just be careful with that. Don't know what it can do.
Don't know what it can do.
All right. So as you make your way into this area, it looks like you're on a 20-foot wide balcony. So 20-foot wide, like coming from that entrance, and about how long is this thing? 170 feet long, ways, like wide actually. Just balcony overlooking this vast room. It's got like this kind of rickety old railing keeping you from like the rest of the room. So like underneath you is about a 30-foot drop down to the floor below. The walls and ceiling of this whole room, everything looks like it's coated in amber in here, like this golden sheen on the walls itself. The room itself kind of like feels golden in the light with this glow in here, and you can see to the west over here, there's closed doors, and then to the east, there's a set of doors that seem to be open right now. Over here, these doors are open. Over here, these doors are closed. And then there's stairs to the left and to the right leading down as well.
DM, I see that there's more archer slots on the northwest, but I can see through them in full light. Is that an error?
Since you have 120 feet, let me see.
I think it is because it gets dim before that.
Yeah, you can see
And
because
then-
it's around like 90 feet to that.
I can also see over here.
Yeah, I see a thingy here, and I just want to make sure that I'm supposed to be allowed to see it.
Yeah, I mean, if it is visible to us, like I can see it too. And
Oh,
it
yes, that's right.
technically would be a light source
There
for us.
is light source seems to be coming from that area.
Okay, that explains why it looks so weird. Okay, I would nod at Duncan or gesture at Duncan and point over there.
What the bloody hell is that? I'd like to take a perception check to try and look in that direction, because I can partly see a token.
Okay, so make a perception check. 16. It looks like something is moving about through there, almost like something's floating around in that area, and it gives off kind of a light source with it.
Then Duncan, with a wave, will gesture everybody to follow him, and he wants to get everybody to move out of the line of sight of the arrow slit up against this wall.
I will do that.
All right, so you line up over there.
What's the matter?
I saw something move through the arrow slit. I don't know what it was. I couldn't get a good look at it. But there was a creature there. Something. Person. It's hard to tell. Maybe we should take a better look. Perhaps this door leads up to that area. So I would like to do a perception just to listen beyond the door to see if there's anything just beyond it.
Okay, yeah, make another perception check here. With a 12, at this point, actually, that's enough. You hear muffled talking coming from the other side of this door. It's hard to make out anything of what's being said, but it looks like there's some kind of conversation being had beyond these doors.
There's someone through there. Can we just nudge it open, just to like really stealthily nudge it open to see if we can get a peek?
Yeah. So you go and
I might be able to hear. And Tellen casts guidance on herself before making a perception check, listening at the door.
Okay.
Okay, so she's going to add a whopping 1 to whatever I roll for perception.
So total is 7.
Nope, no luck.
You put your ear up to the door and it's hard. It's you can barely even make out anything at all. Like you could hear something coming from there, but you can't even really recognize it as talking in the first place.
Meltan, Rocky, would either of you like to try?
Anybody else want to listen before Duncan tries to nudge the door open?
Yeah, I'll give a wee listen. It's a perception check, yeah?
Yeah.
I'm good at that.
Also 6.
I got a 6.
Yeah, it's hard for you to make out any kind of talking at all.
No.
Mount 10,
Oh,
you don't even hear anything.
I was going to have Tilwyn cast guidance on them too, and she does, but it won't make any difference.
So I swear to you, I heard something.
I believe you.
So Duncan's gonna throw an investigation check at the door just to look for What? Shush, cat, shush. For tripwires and noisemakers.
Okay. Yeah, make an investigation check. 6. So you check around. Nothing that you could spot. It looks like just a simple double door. They look rather like heavy doors, but nothing that you could see for like wires or anything like that indicate like a trap.
Right, then I will nudge it open a crack.
Okay, as you go and push up, it seems to like move inward just a little bit before stopping, almost as if something's like barricading it from the other side. And all of a sudden Duncan, you hear like the voices stop all of a sudden, and they kind of like go down to more of a whisper. And it's very sporadic now that you actually hear any talking coming from in there, and it's always at whisper level now, from what you can hear.
Duncan will take his hand off the door and just like let it slowly retreat. Now that he's heard that change in the voices, and he'll gesture for everybody just to be deathly quiet and just wait until like he wants to wait until maybe the voices just thought it was the wind, like maybe they think it's the wind, just like before they come to investigate. He just wants to give it a chance to like simmer down in their mind, you know.
Tilwyn nods.
As you
will turn his head to the side in a questioning glance.
As you sit there waiting,
I'm gonna put the hood over on the lantern so that no light will come through the doorway.
okay,
Through the cracks.
yeah. So I'll still keep it lit for you, but I'll just assume it's
Yeah.
not coming from that way, or it's not shining that way. But you still want to have it lit so you can like keep an eye on like other locations.
Yeah.
Okay. After some time, you can hear kind of like some movement come from behind the door, almost like something's being moved. And then the door starts to crack open just a little bit, and you can kind of see like a head, like kind of like peering through, like an eye peering through that crack in the doorway, trying to look around.
Do we have time to like split or anything like that?
I'll say in a split second, I'll have you all make a stealth check really quick just to see if you guys can like keep hidden from here. You do have Pass Without a Trace still on you.
34.
34. Rocky just blends in with the wall. 20 for Moutan, 24 for Duncan. And then 15 for Telwyn. 1 second.
I'd say if I see this thing make any move, I would like to stab the eye with my spear.
I just gotta
I
make
hope this
a.
isn't friendly.
I gotta make a little perception check here. Oh gosh, that's abysmal. Okay, yeah, it looks around, and you can hear like a whisper, and it seems like this one's like a female voice that you can hear, and it's just kind of whispering. Nothing. And you see the door close back up again, or it was barely open. It was just like open like a crack, and you see that door just like close back again. And you hear like you hear like whispering start to kind of resume a little bit, not as loud as it was before, but like there's a little bit now that everybody kind of knows what to listen for. You can hear now the little bit of whispering going on.
Duncan will kind of like motion, like heave an exaggerated sigh of relief to everybody to let them know like that was a close call, and he'll point to like whatever this is on the bottom wall down here. Is this a doorway that he's standing by now?
Yeah, that is a doorway.
Okay, I'd like to check this one, and he knows that there's people there, so I think he's just gonna nudge this one in.
Okay, this one opens up without problem. So inside this room, you can see shattered bits of wood covering the floor of this 20-foot square room. It looks like these used to be bunks of some kind that have been like shattered and destroyed over time. They're just like completely all fallen apart, rotted wood. It's just nothing keeping them like aloft anymore. Like the wood just like rotted away and like they all fell and collapsed on themselves. But it looks like it used to be a bunk room of some kind.
Okay, I guess we'll go inside, or Duncan will go inside, and
I'll be
Can
right
I-
behind him.
investigate the rubble to see if there's anything of value.
Yeah, I'll have you make an investigation check throughout the room.
Can I do the same? I would also like to, if I can do a secondary one if you want, but I want to look for some more sticks because I need some more sticks.
There's tons of sticks in here, Rocky. Lots of it. It's
Man.
most of it's all rotted wood, though. Just keep in mind.
Oh. Here, let me just roll straight, just to check. Yeah, he doesn't really like those. I'll just keep looking.
That's just an interest check.
Yeah, it's an interest check. Well, I mean, what do you think, DM? Is it 13? Would those be interesting?
13 is above average.
That is fair. Okay, I'm gonna take.
Maybe there's like
What-
some
what-
that are like aren't as rotted as others that you seem to like, but most of it's all rotted and like looks like it's like just been eaten through with time.
Or it could be a type of wood you've not seen before.
Who knows? Maybe it's strangely fascinating to you.
All right, so I'm taking 3 like normal sticks. Do I get any like fork or twigs or anything like that? Anything that's got some spunk to it?
No, these were basically just designed to like be bunks, like for bedding and for chairs and things like that. So nothing with like any forks to them.
All right. Well, I guess I'll bring my stick count up to 10. I'll take 4 extra ones. I still have 21 blight needles, so I'm doing pretty okay on that front. But
Yeah. Anybody else want to do anything else in this room? Duncan, did you roll your investigation?
I did. I got a 14.
Okay, 14. Mostly from what you scan, it's just old. Like there's bits of cloth in here that you can find that's been like, what looks like kind of moth-eaten a little bit. Kind of nothing that's been of any like super useful. But with a 23 from Telwyn, actually one of these walls over here, actually, as you're like scanning the room, this wall to the east over here, you notice like it has like a strange, almost hairline fracture of a crack in it, and you kind of like press in on it, and the wall slowly swings, and you could see another room with beyond.
Hello.
Nice.
But it's a secret room.
Go and check it out. Tell when it's yours.
So I don't know if this works right. Can you see through there?
Yeah.
Okay, you should be able to pass through there. So that acts as just like an open passageway that you can go through now.
I love how it doesn't show us any hints on the map. It's something that you have to reveal to us.
Yeah.
Arrow slits.
But yeah, this looks like another old archer's room. And you can see in this one, there are actually some items that are still of use, like weaponry. It's mostly like bows in this room, and there's arrows, and there's actually some crossbows and crossbow bolts in this room as well that you could see. It looks like it's stocked full more of like an archery area.
What time of day is it?
Right now it's before noon. I'd say it's probably like around 9 or 10-ish in the morning.
Okay. Then Tilwyn won't propose we take a rest yet.
Okay.
Well, she found the room, but she doesn't find squat inside it.
Duncan will furiously inspect those crossbows and pick up as many bolts as he can.
Okay. Oh, there's actually some people watching saying the volume's pretty low, so I'm going to try and turn this up a little bit. I'll see if that works actually a little bit. Okay, so looking around in this room, there are, from what you could find, there's about, actually there's quite a few. There's about like 40 bolts altogether still in this room, and about like 30 arrows altogether in this room. There's there's a couple of like, I think there's about like 5 or so bows and arrow, like actual bows. These were long bows, and there are about 5 light crossbows as well.
Duncan's gonna take all those bolts, all of them.
Okay, so you go ahead and grab the bolts. What's everybody else want to do? Anybody want to grab any of those? That's pretty much all that you can see in this room right here.
I'll grab one of the light crossbows.
Okay, cool.
Can I have like 2 bolts?
You're gonna have to ask Duncan, who's grabbed all the crossbow bolts.
I'll give him 20.
Holy moly! All right, hold on. Let me add this on my inventory. Can you send me the stats sometime this week?
For
the
crossbow?
light.
Yeah, I've never used a crossbow before.
Light crossbows are a D6.
So here's what you do, man. You go to the info tab. You go to the info tab. You type in crossbow. You'll see like the light crossbow thing pop up in the info tab, and you can literally just drag that right into your character sheet, and it'll pop up there as like a stat line.
Yep.
Oh man.
Yeah, I think you have to drag it on your the items box, and then you can choose to like whether you want to equip it or not. But you should see it pop up.
Perfect. Yeah, it just popped up.
And it should already be configured with all your like your proficiency and stuff.
Perfect. I am updated. That's cool.
All right. Anybody else want to do anything else, or move on to the next spot?
Oh, we're moving on.
All right. So.
I would like to go down the stairs a little bit and kind of peek through this hole and just see what I can see, but try to be sneaky about it.
How high up are those arrow slits, by the way? Because we're in a lowered
once,
area.
Once you go down there, that's about 30 feet down, so you can't actually look through the arrow slits from down there, is the thing.
And you said the wall is like sheer amber, so it's probably not climbable?
Yeah, the wall seems to be coated in amber.
Yeah.
I don't think I can boost you up.
Like,
I suppose Mauton could fly.
The arrow slits themselves
could always fly.
From standing on the ground, the arrow slits would be about 40 feet up.
That's enough.
Can I try one more time to see if we get these stupid wings to work?
Yeah.
They don't.
You can make another investigation.
They don't let you fly, man. They let you fall. They don't let. They're like paragliding. They're like, it's like a squirrel suit.
14.
14. As you're trying to like still maneuver it, you manage to get like the wings unfurled from it fully, and they seem to kind of like stick in place. And you try and like maneuver them to like kind of move again, and it seems to be stuck in place. These like wide wings outstretched, taking up like the stairway.
Oh jeez, no, it's so. Will they not retract?
As you try and like fiddle around with it a little bit more, you manage to like get like a little grip on them and start to like pull them back in. Not sure if it's fully the way it was supposed to be extended like that. Like it seemed to like be a little bit too quick, and you could see they kind of extended like too much, like overextended what they should have extended.
Oh man, I'm gonna break these damn things before I can ever use them.
It's kind of a high check on this thing.
No, I believe it.
Because it's like foreign technology. But Mountan, were you wanting to fly up and look through the slit?
Sure.
Okay. Are you still stealthed right now?
Yeah.
What was your stealth again? It was
Oh gosh,
20.
I don't remember. I guess 20, something like that.
You should be good right now. So you silently fly up, looking through this window slit here, and you can see what looks like, as you look through. I'm gonna have you make a perception check as you look through these arrow slits. 11. I mean, you're right here, looking through them. That's gonna be enough. You could see what looks to be these skulls that look to be floating around. They seem to be wreathed in like this strange green light, kind of like that green light almost that was back at that gate that you passed through before. And they're just kind
Not
of
very
floating.
Christian.
You could see like these. It's hard to see how many skulls are in here, but there's skulls floating around here on fire, just floating around in the room. They don't seem to notice you at the moment.
Fly back down. We had there's floating fire skulls.
Did you just say it doesn't seem very Christian before?
Yeah. Very Christian. No, but I'll come back and I'll tell them about it.
I don't think I can fathom this. This is
It's like
a thing beyond Rocky.
it's like Viscopa boys, but they're flying and they're on fire.
Duncan just shudders.
539 years old. Tillman's been around and seen a few things. Should I make some kind of check to see if she's...
Anybody wants to
seen
make
or
a,
heard of those?
anybody wants to make a nature check to kind of figure out what these things are?
You can.
Sure, okay.
I have no idea. I got
Sure.
3.
I also got a 3.
3 from Rocky, 3 from Altan, 19 from Duncan. That might be enough, actually. Yeah, that should.
Just in case, I'm going to have Tillman doing guidance on herself.
With a 19 though, that's actually enough to know what these are.
All right.
13 from Talon. Okay, so Duncan, you recognize these from tales. You've heard them from like buddies that you've made throughout like your time, just kind of like banding out, doing like kind of tourneys and stuff like that. And you remember one of your friends telling you about one time he stumbled across this area with these floating skulls, and he referred to them as something called a flame skull. Basically, when something happens to like a wizard who has like gotten knowledge that it shouldn't have and died from it, sometimes they can like appear as these flame skulls. Like they are basically what's left over from these wizards that died from like knowledge that like completely overwhelmed them and consumed them and drove them kind of crazy.
I will relay this information to the group in a fashion that Duncan surely would, which makes it seem like he's somehow, I don't know, like this is like he didn't get this information from anybody. This is just something he knew.
Rocky gives a sagely nod, completely believing this.
And you see, the wizards, they obtain forbidden knowledge that they shouldn't, dark knowledge, the knowledge of demons and warlocks, and that is what causes them to float around and be icky and scary.
Oh, perhaps we should avoid them then.
Oh, my thoughts exactly. Let's perhaps check out the other side of the room.
Going this way or up the stairs again?
Well, we've already been down, so we've already been up the stairs. We might as well stay down.
Right.
But obviously, taking care not to give sight to those things.
Okay, as you move down, there's a whole another layer, so I'll go ahead and switch. I have to switch screens down to the below layer.
Do it, I dare you.
Oh, why don't I have your tokens already populated? Let's go ahead and do that. Duncan, Mountain, Telwyn, Rocky, no Osmond, he's gone. me switch it over and then fix your guys' vision. Okay, everybody should be good now, right?
Yeah, what the hell is that?
What is what?
I don't know. I can't see.
The massive statue in the center. It looks like it's about to give like skadoosh flick to everything in its path.
All right, so everybody like has to move a little bit closer to see it, but you could see in
Over here?
here there is a huge
Oh.
statue of some kind. This statue itself is about 40 feet tall, carved out of what looks like granite of some kind. It's got like this strange robe on it. Like the robe itself kind of looks like patchwork, almost like maps of some kind. And the face itself is also once again completely blank. The strange thing about it is it looks like it has 4 arms, this statue. So there's 2 arms kind of facing forward, and then there's 2 more arms at its side.
Could I make a religion check to try to recognize it?
Yes, you can make. Anybody can make a religion check if they want to know like what this belongs to.
I'll throw a guidance on it.
6. I have no idea, per the norm.
Also, I should mention, in one of the hands, it is holding a staff. Oh, wait, hold on. I am mistaken. This one is different than the statues out front, where before the faces were all blank. This statue, it has a mouth and nose, but where the eyes should be, it looks like they're covered in some kind of cloth to kind of cover the eyes. 6 religion, 4 religion. Oh,
8
religion.
total, but that doesn't really help.
Yeah, not really ringing any bells for what this belongs to. So yeah, the cloak itself is wearing, it looks like it's like patchwork, like bits and pieces of like maps leading to like all different kinds of places, but it's kind of hard to see from this angle distance. But the room itself is rather large. If I've got a good description of this room. So there's about 4 black marble columns supporting the ceiling of the temple. The statue itself is 40 feet tall. The ceiling of the temple itself here, I believe, is about, I think it goes like about 100 feet up. No, 90 feet up. I'm sorry. And yeah, so you got the 2 hands facing outward, and then 2 more hands, or 2 more sets of arms on its side. One of them in the left hand arm. Well, on your right, its left is holding a rod of some kind, a stone rod. And you could just see, the eyes are covered by that strange cloth, kind of like blinding it. You could still see the light coming from those slits up at the top, about 40 feet up, and the walls itself down here are also all coated in amber too. And you could see also that there are a couple of hallways leading around from the west and the east. And then there's also some alcoves in the room holding statues as well. These statues themselves are faceless and holding rods of some kind.
Let's get the hell away from these things before they, try to eat us. Because I just have that feeling. So
Yeah.
Duncan move a little bit quicker over to the other staircase. It's on the other side.
Rocky follows.
Okay, so you guys all move towards the east.
Oh, there's no staircase here. Okay, I guess we're going through this doorway.
There's a staircase like further down to like your south, so like that would be the staircase to go back up to the balcony once more.
Right. Okay.
Do you want to go back up, or do you want to go to this eastern.
I mean, we should just go in the hallway. Looks like there's some collapsed stone up here.
Yeah, there is some.
Okay, I want to have Duncan take a peek inside there.
So this one looks like a statue that is crumbled apart. Also, you can see the face is completely blank, no features on the face itself, just kind of connecting back with what you heard about the temple, about a lot of like the wizards that founded this temple were dedicated to the faceless god, and this looks like it's probably like depicting that maybe. This statue itself looks like it's just worn with age and has fallen and crumbled over time.
All right. Then he will come back to the group, and he will proceed down this hallway.
All right. So as you make your way down to this hallway, where is this? There's so many rooms I gotta see. Okay, so yeah, once more, glistening walls covered with amber. There's kind of some dust in here covering the marble floor. To the north, it looks like the hallway used to extend further along to the north, but is collapsed and now completely inaccessible. And to the south, you could see a set of double doors. Or no, it's not a double doors. It's just a door, and there are also 3 doors along the east wall of here. So like, looks like there's one up here. There's another door in the middle, and then there's another door down to the south of that east wall. And then at the very south end of the hallway, there's another door.
All right, I'm gonna throw out a perception check just to look for baddies or hear for baddies.
Okay, yeah, you can make a perception check over in here. Ooh, nat 20. You hear everything.
Which also happens to be nothing, I presume.
No, you actually hear stuff. So,
okay.
Strangely, okay, so from this northern, on the eastern wall, this northern door, you can hear from behind the door itself what sounds like sobbing of some kind, almost like crying. And at the same time, from over here, on this middle door, you hear kind of like talking of some kind. It's like muttering of some kind that you can hear. It's just a couple of voices. It sounds like numerous voices just muttering inside of this middle door, but beyond it.
Duncan will gesture for everybody to halt, and then he will turn him out on. I hear someone crying beyond that northern door.
Yeah. I must be terribly frightened.
Do you think that these could be cells of some kind? Maybe they're keeping people captive here.
We should find out. He's gonna start walking forward.
I'll let Mautan check that one out.
Okay.
Can I hear the sobbing?
With a perception check. Oh well, with Duncan pointing it out, now you can like hear. Yeah, it sounds like sobbing, like someone crying from the other room. It's just this muffled, and you can like almost hear tears and just like kind of like whimpering, crying noises coming from in the room from someone.
I'm gonna lightly knock on the door and then kind of peek it open.
Okay, so you knock on the door and peek it open?
Yeah.
As you open the door, you can see someone with their back turned to you. They're just kind of like shivering and shaking, and you can hear more sobbing, and it sounds like just this unconsolable sobbing coming from this figure that's got its back turned to you. You notice it's got like this strange shape to it, like its shoulders are weirdly shaped, and you can sense that it has like a strange number of arms. Like you look and see upon further inspection, it's got 4 arms.
Ooh.
Listen, Mautan, if anybody can reason with the monster, I know it's you.
Yeah, so just for reference, even though my token's in there, I'm technically outside. I just couldn't see in the room from the other end of the door.
Okay, so
my head's just poking in.
We won't have an incident of when Feyrax went down the wrong tube and got killed by the spider.
Exactly. Yeah, my head's just poking me.
Okay, So yeah, so you just see this figure sobbing, crying, kind of just like facing towards the wall away from you.
Can I tell what it is? Or
It's
just
hard.
anything about it? Features, just
From what you can tell, it's hard to tell. You know it's humanoid in shape. It's strangely got 4 arms. I mean, you can make a nature check to try and like determine like a race or something that might have 4 arms like that.
is it male or female? I don't want to call it Mist, and then it turns around and it's a man, and then it tries to kill me.
It sounds kind of female in like the way the sobbing is. I mean, from best you can tell, it sounds kind of female in sound. Still not sure what race it might be. There's not like a lot of 4-armed races that you're familiar with.
I'll just peek my head in and notice it. But pardon me, ma'am. Is everything all right?
You can see it starting like to turn around, and you can see it, the head slowly look around at you, and it's got like this strange hollow devoid eyes and like this gaunt face and these like tears like running down. It's like kind of like these strange like lifeless eyes, and it looks at you and lets out this shriek cry. It lets out this like harsh cry, and the arms open up wide, almost like in this embrace style, these 4 arms, and she just lets out this scream, and she starts charging towards you, Mountan.
Oh
And
dear.
that's actually where I'm gonna end the session for tonight.
Well, you don't have to stop
Mountain's
there
got
on
to
my
die.
account. I just can't stay
No,
long.
I need to go too.
Yeah, no, I do need to go too.
I do as well,
Because
actually.
we're about 16 minutes over the time threshold anyway. I just wanted to make sure.
You just wanted to end on a cliffhanger.
Well, it's weird to just end like, oh yeah, then you walk down this hallway and it's empty. Alright, we're done.
Yeah. But that's a good spot. I was like, oh, is somebody gonna console the crying woman?
If anyone would, it would be me.
But yeah,
It's like a
we got to figure out what this is next week on Curse of Strahd. So
it's like
I
a
already
witch.
know what it is.
you do?
About to die.
Ah.
Yeah. Alright, so we will pick this up next Saturday, once again, 9 Central, as usual. But yeah, that was fun. Yeah. And there.